Yep. So we ended the intro with a little you know, um little show of respect for Morgan Lofting and the GI Joe community. I said it. You know, she was awesome. She was our Baroness. She was the Baroness, and it's kind of sad that she just died suddenly. So yeah, yeah, beautiful Morgan. Yeah, she was gorgeous. She was always gorgeous, but yeah, so lost Morgan Lofting, and I just thought it would be fitting to put that in the intro for her. So yeah, she definitely was awesome. Speaking of awesome, all you people are awesome, and it's Hump Day. So you got me, Mikey, talking unproduced GI Joe stuff. 98, 99% of it, all thanks to Dan Klingensmith and his Creating GI Joe series of volumes. If you don't have these, if you haven't seen them, I urge you to check them out because they are a wealth of information. Dan did some tireless work on that. And yeah, Rip Morgan, a life well lived. Yeah, absolutely. And hello to everybody else who's popping in right now. It's good to see all of you. And speaking of awesome, we gotta get to a little awesome. So what's up,
hello.
What's up, buddy? What's up,
How are
Chad?
you?
Doing good. Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I haven't seen you in I don't know, like 2 minutes.
Jeez, it's been so long.
Yeah,
Who can
because
remember?
channel members, they get that good stuff in the pregame, baby.
Get the peek behind the curtain.
Gotta
Get to see the
take
wizard.
a look at little Skeletron, little Robo Skull Mark II action.
Little teasy.
Pretty rad, pretty rad. Robert's Infinite Realm says, "Hey, yo, potty people."
Party people.
I have two people that stated / requested, I guess, the same thing.
Cubs win! Cubs win!
Okay, wait.
Cubs win! Cubs win!
Because we got to be men of the people, right?
We got.
Yes. That's why I'm always behind on the chat, because I don't care if it's a super chat or not. I try to put up what everybody's putting down. You know what I mean?
Always proven that you can read.
Yes. Reading is fundamental. Hooked on phonics worked for me.
That's right.
Yeah. Eric Teixeira says, finally, the Skeletron Mark II enters the room. Yep.
That it does.
I was telling the channel members on the pregame that I started recording and talking about how, this one's for, a subscriber milestone giveaway, and this one I'm going to open, and hey, let's open, like the shipper container and blah, blah, blah. So we're going through all that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm waiting on the flight stand and some other stuff. That'll probably be here later. And then it showed up.
Bing bong.
Yeah, ding bong, motherfucker, here, take your. Ooh. Okay, yeah, we're more than 2 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
Reading are fun. See, I think this is a lie.
He might have voice chatted it. He might
have, but you know what that might be?
Could be.
That's that bullshit. That's that bullshit right there.
That's what that is. That's that bullshit, son.
Busted.
Yeah. Trademark. It's Chad. 2020.
That's that bullshit.
That's that bullshit. I stole it.
Zakanan and I have started saying that's not that bullshit when it comes to like something good. Like we've just been like, as Chad wouldn't say, that's not that bullshit.
No, yeah. Instead of saying, hey, this is rad, you would say, you know what that is? That's not that bullshit.
That's not that bullshit.
I get it. I get it.
Twisty. Twisty.
Hal Jordan says the Joe Transformer crossover Baroness and Megatron is on sale. There you go.
Well,
go pick it up. Get another carded O-ring Baroness.
That's what Morgan would want.
Hal Jordan says, I'm late, but Chad won't know for another hour because his ass is probably behind in the. No, I'm not busted, bitch.
Yeah, you gotta wait through like half an hour at least.
I freaking busted
you. Stays diligent.
Chad, why are you so insensitive?
I love that you went with the one where he puts his finger on his lip. That's my favorite. Of all the ones he did that night, that one where he's
Well, he did several.
so
and-
good.
Dude, I just couldn't find it. And it was V. Conley put a
Yeah.
timestamp and said, hey, this is where it is. And so I just went to the timestamp and found that one. I know he did another one where he said, Chad, how insensitive of you, like the Rainbow
He
Bright.
did at least 3 different versions of it. He was in it to win it.
Eric is asking, is the RoboSkull Mark II, right, I'm paraphrasing, larger than the HasLab Hiss? Ooh. Well, okay.
I don't know.
haven't-
There's a few different ways you could measure it.
I haven't I
Eh,
haven't put the
Taint
whole
to
thing
tip or-
together. Yeah. I don't have the wings on it. Again, I just started getting into the vehicle. So, you know what?
It may be close just with the lightning stuff in the front of it. Those things are like
Yeah, but those are
8 inches of length by
that
themselves.
shit don't count, man. Come on.
You gotta tip to taint. You gotta get the
tips?
extra bit.
Got any tips?
Any tips?
Got any tips? Got it.
Mm,
Give me that goddamn map.
come on.
G-forcing, what's up, man? And then Justin Booth said NECA is still doing damage control. And then he, he threw that little bit on the end.
That's that bullshit. That's that bullshit right there.
Yeah, it kind of is. G-Force Racing says Scuba's a legend. You ain't kidding. Tragic
is a
Hero, what's up, man? Good to see you. Yeah, we got a lot of good people here. All right, kids, this is how it's gonna work. We got a lot of stuff to get through. We're gonna show you a movie. Yeah, so I hope you brought your popcorn. But yeah, we're gonna go through some really rad stuff. How's my finger doing? That's none of your damn business, sir. No, it's good. It's good. Look at it's like
Mostly back.
99% healed.
Mostly back.
But yeah, let's get through some stuff. We got a lot of stuff to go through. Machine Man says more scuba characters. Yeah, I could probably work on that.
Mm.
Oh. Somebody sent me a gnarly picture of like a, all clown makeup looking like Ronald McDonald, and it says, Chad, why are you so insensitive? Yeah,
Oh.
I'm working on that. No, it's an informative little movie we're gonna show you.
Oh, it's not one of those HR sensitivity training ones, is it? I don't like those.
No, it's not. It's not. Oh, fucking shit.
Chad, how insensitive of you.
Yeah, that's me. That's how I roll. Okay, let's get into it, kids.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that time meow.
Watch this.
I tried to. I'm gonna move us down like that. What do you say?
That's nice.
It is. It's nice. Oh, this is cozy. I tried to put this stuff in some manner of an order, but yeah, we're gonna get into it right now. So obviously, the GI Joe. I'll say it. Whatever. That's fine. The GI Joe community.
Yeah.
The Sunbow family of voice actors, and she did a lot of other stuff too. But we lost the Baroness, and that's pretty sad, especially because she died so suddenly. And again, here's the article that said Morgan Lofting died unexpectedly Wednesday at her home in Burbank. As one of the 10 founding actors of our agency, Celeb Works, she meant the world to us and our company. They said in a statement. So I thought that was really sweet.
That's nice.
Well, since we're on the subject of unproduced GI Joe toys, and we had to give our respects to Morgan Lofting, rest in peace.
R.I.P.
I thought one of the first figures that we could look at, Mikey, did you know that there were at least 4 attempts to make a version 2 of Baroness during A Real American Hero?
I did not know that.
In fact, that guy that just got shit canned from Hasbro in the 25th anniversary run, he fought tooth and nail to make an Arctic Baroness, just like the John Royal cover art, hood and all that.
That would have been cool.
So if anyone isn't aware who's hanging out in the chat, there was never a proper A Real American Hero, meaning 82 to 94 version 2 of the Baroness. Version 2 of the Baroness didn't come until 97. And this was after Real American Hero got killed off, thanks to Ginger Kent and Alan Hassenfeld, as did Sergeant Savage. They gave G.I. Joe to the Kenner people in Cincinnati. We got G.I. Joe Extreme. G.I. Joe Extreme got shit canned. And then in 97, G.I. Joe 3 3/4 inch O-ring went right back to Hasbro. Like they just had like a weird little shitty pause, and then they just turned it right back on.
They were on a break.
Yeah, we were on a break. But anyway, there was no proper Baroness version 2 until 1997. And she is the blue one with the red and black accents.
Came in a 3-pack, I believe.
Yeah. Yes.
With Vipers. Oh, she was a 2-pack.
That was a 2-pack. There's another figure that we're going to talk about. Ninja Commando Storm Shadow. Yeah. Anyway, so oops, I ruined that. So anyway, this is, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit.
Space Viking Baroness.
Space Viking Baroness. No, see, Battle Corps Rangers was going to do a proper version to a Baroness, but Battle Corps Rangers got canceled. This one is not Battle Corps Rangers because you can see it was designed in 1990 by Kurt Groen. When it says year designed, you got to add 2 years for when it would be released. So it was designed in 1990 to be released in 92, and that's pre-Battle Corps Rangers. Yeah, Jeff Butler said 3-pack with Cobra Commander Destro. Dang it.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so anyway, this is one of the possible version 2 Baronesses that we could have maybe gotten, but didn't. And, I just added this one on the front end because of Morgan Lofting. I thought it was fitting. And the notes say, Kurt Groen didn't recall too much on this rendering of the Baroness, other than the fact that every designer since Ron Rudat, right, since his original design, attempted to update her. And so this is one of the attempted version 2 updates that didn't happen.
You gotta really recognize the fact that she's one of the few that never had, never needed the update. Like that first design is that good, where it never was a necessity for a wave to redo her.
And even the version 2 that came out in 97, that's really fucking squeaking by because it's the same mold. It's not Hawk, Colonel to General. It's not Storm Shadow like Cobra to Joe, or even Snake Eyes, like Mando to, fucking Shining Knight or whatever.
Yeah.
It's still the same mold, and she kept the same mold, even through Red Knock and all that. I just got one of the Pepsodent figures from Jacob over at Yo Toys the other day, which, I'm going to get it. So it was always the same mold with the Baroness. But yeah.
Kind of impressive. She's got to be one of the few that got that.
She was perfect the way she was. She absolutely was. And if you go to 3djoes.com and you go into the creator profiles, listen to one of Ron Rudat's little audio clips about how and why he designed the Baroness the way he did. There was a lot of thought put into that about the snake scales, why he gave her glasses. He really put a shit ton of thought into the Baroness.
Yeah.
So, by the way, Mikey, did you know that her boots can hold your chips and dip?
I had a theory, but it hadn't been proven.
Dip, right? Because then you grab the chip, cross it over.
It's convenient. If you're like at a campfire or something, you're sitting down, you've got them right there. Super.
And you're
handy.
almost doing some cardio at the same time, right? Because hip, chip, cross, dip, eat.
Well, with the stretching, there's definitely calisthenics.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. I'm not saying. Yeah. I don't know about I love Suka. I don't know about Rob Liefeld because she would have like pouches on top of pouches and no feet, and she would have like this massive. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, she has Liefeld ankles if it were on cable, but since it's a female, it's actually proportionate.
Yeah,
so
it doesn't have those
Rob
cable
definitely
cankles.
did not do. Yeah, even the hair is way too tame for a Liefeld.
Oh yeah. What's up, Gonzo, man? Good to see you, bro.
What up, sir?
Them some bare ass lower legs, says Forum Icebreaker. Chad, did you review the new Robo Skull yet? Negative, sir. I actually just opened it and I'm working on the video for that for Monday. So channel members will get it Sunday. General public will get it Monday. It's going to be more of a comparison, even though you can't. It's pretty much apples and oranges. But I'm going to.
It is.
I don't know. You know what? Just fucking wait and find out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Watch it. Okay, just watch it.
Oh, dude, last week's video exploded. It exploded in like views, comments, engagement, subs. Oh, I went.
Said it
nuts.
would. I mean, it's
You make a
topical.
video about Elon Musk, man. And it wasn't even about Musk. It was more about Hasbro. Still, whatever. Jeff Butler, would the ma'am ever wear this design? Yeah, I don't see why she couldn't, because when you're part of the finest costume club, as we are, costumes have to fall under certain like left and right limits. It has to have been something that was put out or approved. I mean, this one was approved. It just didn't get made. So yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The ma'am deserves a cape.
Wasn't her face appearance based on the secretary at Hasbro? You know what? I am not entirely too sure.
I don't know that.
I try to never bullshit a bullshitter. So I don't know. I hope we get a figure of the Energon Universe Baroness. So the good guy Baroness, who kind of looks like weird Captain America. Jason, what's up, man? Good to see you. And then Pericles says in Edna mode, no capes. Yeah.
No capes.
Are you forgetting modesty? Modest is hottest. Oh, you remember when that chick said that to Mandy at freaking DFW? Modest is hottest. And she was like, I will fucking kill you.
Yeah.
I really want a video about the Hiss X Robo Skull. Never asking you anything. Yeah, man. We need to move on with this stuff. But Eric, dude, just send me a private message on Facebook or Instagram and tell me what you want to see me do in the video, and I'll throw it in there. So anyway, Balake's here. What's up, Balake? Good to see you, dude.
What up, sir?
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna move on. But anyway, yeah, this was one of the possible version 2 designs of Baroness.
Pretty wacky.
Yeah, and then I got a palette cleanser. You ready? Would it be cool if we got the Baroness and yeah, they made her. Do you mean if the ma'am did it? But I have the anniversary version. Chad now outnumbers me in Robo Skulls. Oh, George. No, I only have 2. I only have 2. And that new one isn't really the same. Because of Ben, what's up, man? Good to see you. Viper Scout says kind of looks like Resolute. Yeah, a little bit, without that Eastern Bloc kind of Third Reich thing going on. All right, palette cleanser. This is a block building Kobe Toys M1A2 Abrams tank. This is an actual tank. It does have a 120 millimeter smoothbore, and you can clearly see the bore evacuator.
Clearly, right there on the ball.
There's something about this. What's up, Action Figure Addicts? Good to see you, man. Do you see that driver? Tell me I'm not going to sue a motherfucker. One that's fucking me, dude. Look at that picture.
How come the flag's facing the wrong way on the left arm?
Well, you shouldn't have a flag on each arm. The one on the right arm is correct, right?
Yeah, but what's the deal with
charging
one on the left? You would never do that,
Look,
Chad.
this guy's here. What's up, dude?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Brad Davenport says the A1 looks great with mini Chad. It's a very handsome dude. So yeah, anyway, somebody sent this to me and I was like, bro, get out of here. Like, tell me that's not freaking me, man. I mean, it's not supposed to be, but
how do you know?
I don't freaking.
How do you know?
I don't know. Oh, hey, speaking of which,
this freaking guy, what a
Zakaden
gem,
gifted 5. It's Chad channel memberships, and that allows us to play this.
Wolverines! Hell yeah!
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That
Zakanan, thank you so much.
That is not that bullshit.
That is not that bullshit. No.
Not that
No,
bullshit.
that is not. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it, my friend. That stuff kind of keeps us going. Mine from hell says, lol.
La 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 la.
Lol. Wolverines, hell yeah. World made of cardboard.
Hell
It's
yeah.
Chad in knockoff Lego. Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah.
The resemblance is uncanny. That's all I'm going to say. The fucking smirk, the shades. I mean, I know that we all wear that eye pro, but
It's a suspicious likeness.
the figure needs a soul patch. I did not regrow my soul patch until I retired, but you know, we could get away with that.
You got the shadow. You know it could be there.
You know what it is. It's me.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, this minifigure brick needs a cap on his head.
You do.
I mean, there's my minifig right there. I mean, that's me all day. So, and that's thanks to Vishay Conley. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, Balake. I'm gonna sue him for royalties. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna move on from this. I just thought it was funny. It's just a little palate cleanser, a little funny, haha. So, Eric Alfred Abel, channel member for 7 months since day one. Thank you so much. Uses his Chad Chat trademark. It's Chad 2024. What's up, fellow indoctrinated militant Americans? Nothing.
Sure.
Talking about toys. Yeah, it's good to see you, man.
How about them dollies?
Oh, and Mo's here now, so we can move on. What's up, Mo? Good
What
to
up,
see you,
Mo?
Yeah, I'm ready for your day to be over as well. And I don't,
Yeah.
you know, you're looking at what I do all day. Drink coffee, play with dogs. Okay, so let's move on. We are going to go to a vehicle that was so unproduced, it never got past the initial design phase. And that is the top hat designed by Greg Bernston.
Totally cool.
Yeah, I'm going to blow it up a little. So,
And my favorite Hasbro designer. I love Greg.
yeah, Greg Bernston, man.
He's the Bob Villa of toy stuff. He sounds like Bob. He talks like, but he's at the same cadence. I could listen to him talk for hours.
Please don't let me forget to announce at the end of the stream who I have coming on Sunday. Speaking of G.I. Joe design. Yeah, Fantasia says mean dog vibes. Yeah, I can kind of see it, especially with that slatted front. There were a lot of vehicles that kind of reused this front kind of cab.
Yeah, you can tell they tried that several times. Like they had the vehicles that they never made, and they were like, okay, we need to take this.
It was the same with
aspect.
Destro's
really
Razorbacks with that you know, the triple A in the back with that bubble canopy. You saw that over and over and over again. And that's okay because we know that lines do reuse. All of them do, right? Sure. Legend Series says, now that is what I call a teaser.
Totally.
So anyway, top hat, which stands for, you know, it's an acronym, as we always see in Joe. Telescoping observation post highly armed turret. Okay. It's not as bad as Shark. Okay. Not as bad as Shark. When designing the top hat, Greg wanted to create an armored vehicle that not only could easily blend into its terrain, but also be used for reconnaissance or to attack Cobra troops while having the protection of a hillside. That's called defilade and enfilade. Yeah. So when you pop up, it's enfilade. To make it more difficult for Cobra troops to fight it, the top hat had the ability to move rapidly to another location to continue the fight or hide in a new location and wait for the enemy. So yeah, there it is right there.
I like this one. I like it a lot, actually.
Look at fucking Matt Tracker over here just chilling.
He's taking a whiz.
What's up, green Matt Tracker? George Aiken says, it's a crane. Yeah.
Ooh.
Imagine that thing peeking over a hill. You gone. Yep. Vishay Conley says top hat looks like the Hiss 4. Yeah, a little bit. The way that it kind of pops up like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there it is. That's the top hat, and that was it. Like Greg Bernston did, he did initial sketches, then he did the colorway. Done. never made it past this. This vehicle was never scheduled to be released. But
Yeah,
pretty cool.
pretty rad.
Yeah, pretty sweet. I dig it. I'd have bought it. You know, Eric. So Eric's gonna rank things. Everybody in the chat, if you guys want to fucking rank shit, go ahead. I'll throw it up. Eric says 7 out of 10. Really good. It's the
Yeah.
G.I. Joe Granger exclusive. Oh,
I think the Top Hat's an excellent vehicle. If I had it, I'd cover it in brown mustard and relish. Top it off with a nice cool Budweiser.
wait a second. Wait, hold on. You deserve the appropriate one. Here we go. Very good. Very good. Thank you, Mr. Carey. Robert's Infinite Realms gives it an 8 out of 10. Chris from Cutthroat Comics says 10 out of 10.
Oh,
And then Lunchbox just says, hey, what's up? Yeah. Oh,
what's up, killer?
this point shit. 6.5 out of 10.
Shit.
Okay, whatever. We'll take it. Yeah.
Come on.
Definitely feels like a
man.
1990 Raider reuse. Okay. The way the missile silo kind of pops up and back.
Okay. It's kind of like an Asp Mark II with the pod.
Ishy. Yeah.
Like now it's
Mo
its own
says
thing.
5. Fuck. Most
Too
hard to please.
silly.
Forum Icebreaker
Oh.
says 6. Toe hook. Like a mega force.
Straight from
8 out of mask.
Oh,
I like it, right? Because yeah, little neon green Matt Tracker going on there.
he's over there.
The whole thing looks like Matt Tracker. Like if you zoom back out, okay, that's a little far. I got a little palsy on that.
That was too
Okay,
much.
I'm gonna remove you for a sec, Mike. Tell me that's not freaking Matt Tracker, kids.
What's Matt Tracker doing over there? He's
What you
taking a
doing, Matt
lead.
Tracker? Yeah. 6.11 out of 12.3 minus 2.4. Oh man, here we go. Lowered expectation. That's that bullshit, kids. Hey, we've all seen this thing before, right?
That's not unproduced, Chad.
It's not unproduced, but you know what's funny about the 1992 Toxo-Lab, Mikey?
What?
We gotta sell
How-
it. Come on.
How grossly underscaled the actual playset is compared to this drawing.
Yeah, kind of. Suka says that's just someone's bathroom. The interesting thing about the Toxo-Lab, it was
Is the
supposed to
Toxo gun
come-
really shoots water? It
Yeah,
says
shut
right
up.
there on the box.
Yeah, no, it does. What's up, Tony, man? Good to see you. We need Zombie Finger back. Well, I don't, whatever. That wasn't me. It's the Chad Lab, actually. All right. Stop fucking around. Do you know what the interesting thing about the Toxo-Lab is, Mikey?
Tell me, Chad. Tell me.
Okay, I'm going to tell you and everyone else. It was supposed to come with a figure. Did you know that?
Oh, I bet it was a Snake Eyes.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let's back up, dude. We'll just edit that out.
Is
Did
that
you
really-
know
yeah,
that it's
well,
supposed to come with a figure? Did you?
I didn't know that.
Oh, okay. Well, let's take a
Was
look
it-
at it, shall we?
Was it Snake Eyes?
No, it
That's
was
not
Dr.
Snake
Mindbender.
Eyes.
It's Dr. Mindbender.
I love this Dr. Mindbender.
So the interesting thing, if you notice up at the top, it says year design 1993, but it's not actually technically accurate. Actually, thank you. Actually, it says here for the second assortment for the Mega Marines, Dr. Mindbender was intended to be one of the Cobra characters. Okay, well that's Mega Marines, right? Dave DeForge shared he wanted to give a more futuristic look and decided to give him some battle damage, scars on his head, right? Mutated claw. That's all that Mega Marines bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Bio armor. When the decision was made to not move forward with the next set of characters, right? Yeah. So he was originally supposed to come with the Toxo-Lab. And then, because he didn't come out with Mega Marines Wave 2, they were going to reuse it again for Battle Corps Rangers in 1995. But there he is right there.
God, I love that.
So good.
Thing is
So
so
this is the Battle Corps Rangers version that we see right here in the blue and black. But originally, over here with the scarred head, he was going to come with the Toxo-Lab. Then they decided, price point wise, we'll ditch the figure. Then they were like, well, we'll just use him for Mega Marines. Didn't get that, second assortment of Mega Marines. Then they decided we'll use him for 95, and we all know what happened with that. So pretty interesting stuff with old Dr. Mindbender version 2 that we never got.
Yeah. The best thing is he has a shirt.
He does have a shirt. Yeah, he's got way more than just a shirt. What book is this from?
So much.
Okay.
School him, Chad.
Okay, here we go. So this book series is called Creating G.I. Joe. It's by a good friend of ours, a lot of ours, named Dan Klingensmith Jr. And there's 15 volumes in this series. The last 2 volumes, 14, and this one, 15, is nothing but unproduced toys. And the cool thing about these books, thank you, Suka, for putting that in there. It's the links in the chat for anybody who wants it.
Well done.
But the interesting thing about this series of books is book 1 isn't 82. So each volume covers different years. And at the back of every volume, so this is volume 7 right here. At the back of every volume, there's the top hat right there. And then there's Destro's Omen. Well, those didn't get produced. And then you see the French Legionnaire figure. Well, that didn't get produced either. So at the back of every volume is unproduced stuff. So you get a wealth of information from Dan's books. YMCA. Oh, cool. Jedi Ben says, I just ordered all 15 Monday. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. The one thing I wish Dan had with those books was a master index. One big glossary to tell you exactly where things were. Why do you look like you're holding a fart in church?
I don't like that word. I'm going to plead the 5th on that because, I'm just going to let that one walk away. Yeah. I mean, there might be a master Excel spreadsheet out there somewhere that someone gave to me. Iron Grenadiers deserved more vehicles. I agree. They would have gotten a few.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Jeff Butler, our good friend, says, earlier this year, Larry Hama said on his Facebook page, in my mind's eye, Dr. Mindbender always has nipple rings.
Well,
here's the thing. I like Larry. Every time I've ever sat and talked with him, he's a very enjoyable, very nice guy. We always talk about Army stuff, right? Because he was a combat engineer in Vietnam, and I'm
sure,
a fucking badass. Just kidding. I'm kidding. But Larry endorsed that Snake Eyes movie. I'm not saying
that's what I was gonna say.
I'm just saying everything that comes out of Larry's face isn't gold. Oh, dude. Speaking of which, there's Dan right there.
What's up?
The funny thing is we're going to talk about the Toy Files podcast in just a couple of minutes if we can ever freaking get there. How about that?
Sweet.
Yeah. Cool. One resource to reference them all. Yeah, I don't have that.
Damn straight.
So anyway, this is the 3 degrees of never produced Dr. Mindbender version 2, right? Toxo-Lab. So his version 2 is supposed to be Eco Warriors, didn't happen. Mega Marines, didn't happen. Battle Corps Rangers, didn't happen. So they should have just put his ass in DEF. Then he would have gotten a version 2. Larry, what's up, man? Good to see you. Larry keeps pushing cyber ninjas. Hey, look. Cyborg Ninja from Metal Gear Solid is the way to go. Right? You cannot go wrong with creepy ass Gray Fox. So
it's true. It's good.
Version 2 was Battle Core.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this version 2 was going to be 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. This is the Vortex XS2 Battle Core Rangers.
One of the few vehicle concepts they had in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm gonna blow this up a little bit. Kind of bring it down. Bring it down to Chinatown right here. Yeah. So this was designed as part of the 1995 Battle Core Rangers line pitch. Wait, it's green. Yeah, because it was Battle Core Rangers. So they had Battle Core, and I think everybody gets a little wrapped around the axles with Battle Core. Battle Core, as seen right here, was just the main G.I. Joe, a real American hero like run in those years, because you had so many sub teams going on.
Yeah.
You know, you got DEF, Dino Hunters, Eco Warriors, on and on and on and on. It was like G.I. Joe Battle Core. That's the main A Real American Hero run. Battle Core Rangers was the 1993 pitch to bring the 1995 assortment back to like 82, 83, 84. Very toyetic vehicles, play features. Obviously, they had missile launchers, right? Because you're still competing with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and all that stuff, Secret Wars, etc.
Oh, yeah.
But everything was going to go back to that OD green. You had a version 2 of Steeler that was supposed to come with the Phantom XS1 stealth tank that turned into a Sergeant Savage vehicle. And we see a lot of that. Stuff from Battle Core Rangers was reused for Sergeant Savage. Yeah, Will, what's up, man? Good to see you, brother. Vortex only taken out by the Cobra plastic grocery bag.
Yeah, you get something stuck in that blade, you're kind of screwed.
So when discussing the Vortex with Bill, he shared that he recalled working on several VTOL vertical takeoff landing vehicles at that time and was fixated on having a vehicle with a certain vertical fan. Although he pointed out some initial engineering challenges, the Vortex was intended to have a small knob. Oh, that's unfortunate. And get it, small knob. Yeah. Under the large fan behind the cockpit, and a launcher that would shoot out little flying discs. We saw a lot of that stuff, right? The Cobra Eel was supposed to have a skip mine launcher, which was kind of like one of the earlier Arctic vehicles.
The Avalanche.
The Avalanche, yeah. It was also supposed to have a winch underneath it, which you can see in one of these pictures that I'll move. These features were in line with adding more playability to the vehicles. And then you can see the winch right there. So there's the knob that would turn the fans, and then there's the winch. Really awesome vehicle. I don't know. I enjoyed it a lot. But yeah, this was designed in 93 to be released in 95. So Anthony Aguilar says, hello, governors.
Hello. Small knob is a terrible code name. You don't always get.
That's what she said.
Sorry, man. The delay, I had already clicked it. You don't always get the code name you want.
You don't always get to pick your code name.
Just
in fact, rarely do you.
Ask Fumbles.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Brad Davenport wants to know, couldn't you just take that out with a rock? The interesting thing about the Vortex, right? Not only is it part of that Battle Core Rangers 95 line that everybody likes to talk about all the time. It's that boogeyman what if, what if we got 1995 Battle Core Rangers? Would that have saved A Real American Hero from, Ginger Kent and Alan Hassenfeld fucking shanghaiing it? A lot of it had to do with media too, right? They didn't want to put any money into media, and, Ninja Turtles were everywhere. There were a lot of cartoons still going. So you ever seen this vehicle before?
I don't think I've ever seen a color picture of it.
Okay. So,
or with the hatches open, for that matter.
Okay. So for anyone who doesn't know, if you look at the Vortex XS3, it is based on this. Now, this is, and I wrote it down because there's a lot of stuff. This is the Avro Canada VZ9 Avro car. It was initially designed in 1959. It was a proof of concept vertical takeoff landing experimental aircraft. Now, the VZ, the Victor Zulu, was the designation for all of the Department of Defense's vertical takeoff landing projects. That was the designation. And this was the 9th attempt at some kind of a VTOL, all internally housed craft that uses the Quande effect for lift, by the way.
Quande.
Yeah. Was this thing over New Jersey last night? Hey, that's from a 50s U.S. Air Force 2-man flying saucer. Yeah, and yeah. Look, he said in so few words what I just spewed out.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the Vortex, loosely based on this kind of technology from the VZ program for the DoD and the Avro car. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Is that thing parked at Area 51? Actually, no.
Actually, no.
No, it's not a beyond top secret project. Thank you. I heard that thing was a weather balloon. Yeah, that's what they said in Roswell too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look at this one.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
Yeah, all you need is a little pew 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 into that fan, baby. You're good to go. But yeah, it's parked in Fort Eustis, Maryland. Really?
Wow. Dan, you are a wealth of knowledge.
Oh, how cool is it? Look, you just Google it. Not a big deal. Cool. I cheat. Chad served in the 2nd Maw. Oh. There you go. Yeah, is this the prototype flying car? No, it's it's the Air Force's Avro car. So it's not for civilian applications whatsoever. Oh, okay. Now we're just getting into that's that bullshit, the Anunnaki. Where's Giorgio Tsoukalos when you need him? All right, we're gonna move on. But anyway, yes, this Vortex XS2 Battle Corps Rangers unproduced for the 1995 assortment is loosely based on the Avro car. Speaking of Battle Corps Rangers, and we're going to tie a lot of this stuff together in just a minute, right? It'll all make sense once you watch our short film for you. So this is Sure Shot. He was supposed to come with a motorcycle. You can actually see that right over here. See this image? Yeah. Got a little decoder ring and his motorcycle, but yeah, this is one of the figures that didn't happen. Designed by Greg Bernston. There you go, Mikey. In 1992, Greg Bernston distributed a memo listing out the characters who would make up the second assortment for the 94 Battle Corps figures. Okay. Battle Corps being the main line Real American Hero. One character listed had the working name New Joe.
Joe.
Hey, New Joe.
New Joe Jerk.
You know what I used to call brand new soldiers? Like privates, brand new privates? No, because like if you never deployed, we would call you Slick Sleeve.
Oh.
I would call them Shower Shoe. Fucking Shower Shoe. Yeah. I didn't like that.
Much worse.
Kevzilla says this is G.I. John Cena. And
no, you can see him.
8 out of 10. Cannon fodder. That's your name. New Joe City. So, yeah, so he had the working name of New Joe and was to have a launcher and a sprue, all the stuff on the sprue trees, like
of course.
See in the 90s, right? Sprue trees. It cut down on costs. It was kind of cool. You pull your little weapon off there. This character would later be moved into the Battle Corps Rangers assortment for 1995, which, rest in peace, Sure Shot.
Indeed.
And then they changed his name. So here's a preliminary sketch, and then here is a 2-up resin of the torso. There's another drawing of him, and then there is your character sculpture sheet right there. So,
good stuff.
Yeah. Sure Shot. Good. But remember this figure in a couple of minutes. Reminds me of Repeater. Could have been Repeater version 2. Yeah. That being said,
he definitely has some Repeater vibes for sure.
This hand-painted sample versus what you're going to see in the video, which, by the way, this is a screen capture of the video, they don't look the same at all. So it's interesting. It's the same with that Battle Corps Rangers Duke that's in the books. When you look at like the sculpture sheet and the 2-up and everything, it doesn't look the same.
Are these legs hardballs? They sure look like it.
Oh, you might be right. So, yeah, we're gonna move on. This is another vehicle that's gonna come up here again in a second. There's a theme. So this is the Cobra Pest, but it's actually the Vulture.
Or the Vulture.
It actually is the Vulture. Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, designed in 93, Jeff Thompson, to be released in the 1995 Battle Corps Rangers assortment. Chad, is there any Star Brigade tonight? We're gonna have to check the poll. There might be, there might not be. So we'll get to that in a minute. Right? We'll skin that cat when we get there. So when it came to Cobra vehicles for the Battle Corps Ranger subgroup, Jeff created the Cobra Pest. Similar to the Fang, it was intended to be a small one-man fast attack helicopter that could swarm the Joes and attack. Again, when you're a terrorist organization, that's what you need, right? Get in, get out. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So here's some of the detail call out sheets, all this stuff, you know, all the breakdowns. And then this is another screen capture from a certain video. Up here, it says shown is the model of the Cobra Pest or the Cobra Vulture. Now, in the VHS line pitch, they call it the Vulture. But there's also a few other discrepancies. All of the Battle Corps Ranger Joe vehicles had that XS, you know, the experimental service, whatever designation. The Iron Panther tank that I'm pointing at from Sergeant Savage was supposed to be the XS-1 stealth tank. And they even say it in the line pitch video. But when you look at another one of the Battle Corps Ranger vehicles, they have that designated as the XS-1 and the stealth tank designated as the XS-3. So there were a lot of discrepancies in that 93, 94 timeframe when they were kind of rolling up to basically Black Tuesday when they all got fucking fired. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. But yeah, that's the Cobra Pest right there. It's also the thumbnail that I used on the Instagram story. Were any of the unproduced Cobra figures or vehicles? There are some. In one of Dan's volumes, he shows Pythona and all her original optional designs, you know, because when they would design a figure, they would do like maybe 12 different drawings and then pick one. None of them look like the version we got in the 87 movie. 86 movie. None of them. 87. My bad. Silly question. Did any of these designs get used in Lennard toys? I don't believe so.
No. Fun School, some.
Yeah. Right, because these are proprietary molds. Now, if a vehicle didn't come out and they take a look at pictures and kind of make something like it, I don't know. So
yeah.
Yeah. Cobra Pest. Joe's named that thing right. Yeah. The lower half of the page is more interesting. Yeah, there you go. Right there.
That's it.
That's the Cobra Pest / Cobra Vulture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. I don't know why it did that. It kind of blew up and then went back down. This is the unproduced Ninja Commandos Storm Shadow. So Ninja Commandos was going to be one of the lines to be released in 1995. So the 95 assortment was going to be not just Battle Corps Rangers, right? You had the Ninja Commandos where you had Flint, and for some reason Road Pig was a ninja. Yeah. Budo was now a ninja. Everybody's a ninja, right? So Eric says, what the hell? What the hell? Why is he wearing a freaking luchador? Hey, look, I didn't design it. Okay.
This
we're
is the one that
sharing-
became Kato for the Mortal Kombat stuff, right?
G-Force Racing. I'm good without that Storm Shadow. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody's
sure.
everybody's just wrecking this thing. Fallout TV show version. Well, that looks like shit.
It looks like one of his accessories is a whip. You see that on the
oh, yeah.
sprue?
Yeah. Right there.
It's like a whip.
Yeah. I don't know, man. So does he have McDonald's fries on his chest?
Yes. Yeah.
Look, we're just sharing. We're just sharing stuff. It's fine. It's all
Mega
well and
Force had the cheeseburgers. Storm Shadow has the French fries. They work together.
So, yeah. Notice how it says alternate name, Flint.
Plant.
Okay, well, Ninja Force Flint looked nothing like this, right? He had the whole wrapped head thing going on.
Yeah.
That is the member at large of the Ninja Friends.
Ninja Friends.
So originally, this would have been version 5 of Storm Shadow if Ninja Commandos had been released as part of the 1995 assortment. Instead, we got version 5 in 97, and it's just the original version 1 Storm Shadow with a bunch of black
With some gray
speckling,
and black stuff. Yeah.
on him. So it looks like a tar monster got a hold of him, but yeah. So there he is. Not much I'm going to say about this. I'm just going to show it. Everybody's getting their own chuckles.
I like
Hell
his
yeah.
toe talons in the drawing.
Hell yeah, Ninja Snacks. Yeah. Do you also like his fancy?
I like his bow ties.
His boots.
I like his bow ties.
Like your bow tie boots.
I like your bow tie boots.
Eric says the shows Chad and Mikey see it. The unproduced toys I laugh the most. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate it. This looks like a Three Ninjas ripoff.
Yeah.
Is this
Yeah, I
when
can
they
see that.
started the weapons on the sprue? No, that was 92? Question mark?
Yeah, that sounds right.
It is 92. Yeah. Oh, same time toy says ARG. I love this stuff. Stuck at work, replay squad, 100% hit that like button. Thanks, man.
Hell
I'm
yeah,
sorry you're
brother.
stuck at work. Yeah. He has McNuggets on his chest. Hey, McNuggets, come on, we got a mission. Let's go. Oh, man. It's like eating
5 chicken McNuggets.
I had a lieutenant that would always go in the chow hall and get nugs, right? And get the little nuggies. Would
Yeah.
put them in like several napkins and be like, oh, I got my pocket nugs. Let's go. And then we would just go do whatever.
Pocket nugs.
Yeah, Possible Pie says I'd still buy that Storm. You know, a bunch of people would. People went all gaga over fucking Caramel Crunch Snake Eyes. Don't tell me if they didn't make this.
Lord knows I did. I love it.
Not me. I never go full classified. So the only real note on here says no ninja subgroup would be complete if Storm Shadow was not part of it. Exclamation mark. Opposed to the look of the other Ninja Commandos, Dave kept Storm Shadow in traditional ninja attire.
Traditional.
Is that traditional?
Yeah, that's totally traditional. Oh, that's what ninjas wear in every movie I've ever seen with ninjas.
Storm Shadow made some Batman cosplay. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just the mask, man. You know, I mean, you could do stuff with the colorways. The white, black, red is pretty rad, but once you get to this with the soft goods hanging off the back and the whole luchador,
Yeah.
it's Robert Diaz.
Very
This still
strange.
looks better than paintball masked Snake Eyes from the 90s.
I
version
disagree
3?
with that. That's a good sculpt.
I like version 3 Snake Eyes, man.
I do too.
Hey, you know, to each their own, right? It's all
right.
good. Like what you like.
That's right.
White Vegeta says, I like Storm Shadow so much, I ordered him from Legends of the Hidden Force. Legends of the Hidden
Nice.
Force, they definitely did a lot of homage stuff to the unproduced Ninja Commandos from 95. And
Oh, for sure.
I respected the hell out of Darren for doing that.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you had the balls to do fucking Ninja Commando Road Pig. Kudos to you.
Pretty rad.
Yep.
Pretty rad.
Uh-oh. Suka says, Robert's attacking Snake Eyes. Get him.
Get him, guys.
I like this one. Zorro mask. Storm Shadow.
Ooh, the ninja blade.
Storm Shadow. The blade.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So anyway, yeah, there's Ninja Commandos Storm Shadow. Now, what we're gonna do, kids, is we're gonna shift gears for a second. We're gonna watch a little vidya. You want to watch a vidya?
You guys get your popcorn,
Yeah, get your popcorn. We're gonna watch a
your
vidya.
snackies.
Yeah.
Get your milk
So-
duds.
First thing, what I'm gonna do is I am gonna put this in the chat just because one, I think this channel is a freaking wealth of knowledge. There's not a lot of stuff on there, but it is Dan Klingensmith's YouTube channel. Him and Kirk Bazigian do a lot of stuff on there. So this is the link to the actual video, actually itself. It's the Toy Files podcast. The video is called What Could Have Been 1995 in Action. Now, I know that Nick and I kind of broke this down on a Neon at Night like a freaking year ago, but, you know, that was a year ago. Okay, so stop this screen, present, share another screen, do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. Okay, here it is. Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
I kind of want to move us off to the side.
I like that. That's
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. I don't like that we cover the image. Oh, and then speaking of which, the Toy Files podcast, Dan himself says upcoming episode coming soon. Yeah, so Dan's been working on some more stuff. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it at that. So Dan's freaking awesome guy. So all of you hanging out, if you have not seen the Toy Files podcast, what we're about to watch, please go check their shit out because this is the 1993 just camcorder VHS recorded line pitch for it's all of it, but I'm really just going to show like Battle Corps Rangers and maybe some Ninja Commandos, and then we'll cut it off. But Mikey, let me know if you can hear this okay, and then everybody else in the chat, let me know if you can hear it. I'm going to see it when 3 POA finishes. Well, we're going to watch it right freaking now. Anyway, dude, Figure Fight Club with a $20 freaking super chat. Man.
What a G.
Thank you so much, Figure Fight Club. And just says,
Thanks, buddy.
appreciate it, my friend. Thank you so much. Yeah, so let's get into it. Again, if you guys can't hear it, please let me know. So here we go.
I can hear it.
Dan, don't you fucking copyright strike me. Can you hear it?
It's pretty light. It's pretty low.
The fight against evil and Cobra forces continue. Get in on all the action and adventure with G.I. Joe. Battle Corps Rangers, realistic army soldiers armed to the teeth.
So there's Sure Shot right there on the bike with the decoder ring. Yeah, it might be a little quiet, but Toy File says can't hear it. Super low and echoes. The echo is just how it is, right? So
yeah.
Anyway, we'll pause it. But this is the Battle Corps Rangers. This is Baroness right here. See her? So that's the 1995 Battle Corps Rangers Baroness that never came out. This is Sure Shot on the bike. Yeah. So it's a communications backpack decoder ring. Pretty cool.
You didn't even have to buy Ovaltine.
No, you don't even need Ovaltine. Yeah. Oh no, that was a hooded Cobra Commander. Yeah, because it was the replicators. Okay, wait. It's hooded Cobra Commander. Yeah, the replicators Cobra Commander was hooded because that's back when Hasbro didn't give a shit.
Yeah, they knew.
Hooded Cobra Commander, suck it, D. Bonaventura.
Yeah.
Chad, you can let Mikey know what I sent you in Excel. Cool, I will. I'll share it with him. So anyway, yeah, there's Sure Shot, the decoder backpack, and then that's the motorcycle he was going to come with. Yep. There's Duke. So Battle Corps Rangers Duke, right? Black OD green with some accents. He's got this little jet backpack that kind of springs open. That was reused later on. Then his helmet's right there. So, like, they were putting everything they could into this.
Yeah. It's not Charbroil, that's Duke.
He even comes with a navigation.
This is one of the goofiest things.
The compass ring belt. I kind of dig it, man. I think it's cool. Is that ring made of lead? No, it would have to have a magnet in it. No. Night Ops Duke. Yeah, not really, but kind of. You can see there's a lot of like OD green and black and gray in there.
The color palette was choice.
Oh, yeah, the color palette's freaking awesome. There's a lot of that going on, Man of Action. But remember, this was kind of like a hodgepodge. This is the line pitch. So, wait till you get to Hawk. Wait till we see Hawk. It's a little weird. Yeah. Flava Duke. Okay.
Navigational pack that's a compass ring for you.
Yeah. Navigational pack. That's there you go.
Oh, there they are.
Ninja
There
Commando.
they are.
So Budo.
Budo.
There's
Flint.
Flint. Road Pig.
Budo.
Yeah.
Ninja Hog.
The vicious bonsai body chop.
Yeah. Budo with the body chop.
Crossbow and delivers the
Road Pig.
jujitsu body slam.
Crossbow and a jujitsu body slam. Yeah. And then that's all they really go over for the Ninja Commandos. They don't show the other two. So
Cobra is on the ropes again.
like they show them,
Begin
but
with Total Combat Hawk.
Oh, familiar.
Okay. So now we're going to get into some weird 6 degrees of G.I. Joe. So this is Total Battle Hawk, right? So this would be like a further development of General Hawk. And really eyeball this playset. Yeah.
And get ready to hold.
Back blast.
Yeah, that's Hawk. That's supposed
Not
to be
even
Hawk.
painted. That is straight up 1993 back blast.
But again, remember it's a line pitch, right?
Right, yeah, they're just using what they have.
Yeah, it's just a line pitch. But yeah, Man of Action says it should have had him as a new character. But the thing is, we're bringing Joe back. We're bringing it back 82 through 84, right? So
Yeah.
they stood in a lot of figures, or they would kit bash somebody and say, hey, this is right. We're going to have a new version of Steeler, which you're going to see in a minute. This is a new version of Hawk, but it's kind of not. And that being said,
They made it.
man, that looks familiar, doesn't it? They just put it in Sergeant Savage.
You know, the production version's a wee bit different.
Yeah, it's a little different.
A wee bit different.
You know,
But it did get made.
Yeah. That is the bunker right there. And it came out for Sergeant Savage. If you guys can't really see it, there it is. That's it. Sergeant Savage Battle Bunker. So
It was a KB for $4.
oh, man, I wish. Do you know how much I paid for that card?
$17.
Ish.
Is
Yeah.
it fairly close? If it feels
Yeah, we'll say ish. Yeah. That little bitty playset. Hey, G.I. Joe, they were the masters of the battlefield accessories. You could get that was the brilliance of a real American hero, is that if you couldn't afford the 83 Headquarters Command Plate Center, you could probably afford a Checkpoint Alpha. You know, couldn't afford a whale, get a fucking devilfish. There was always something.
Now, I thought I had heard at one point that this playset was supposed to kind of break apart. Have you heard that?
Yeah, that it was going to
Like
have
it was supposed to like break down like 4 pieces.
At
where it
one
kinda,
point,
like,
yes.
Yeah.
Fantasia
Not the
Workshop.
production.
Yes, this is a M2 caliber 50. That is correct.
get that 50.
Got to get that 50, boy. Originally designed to shoot down low-flying aircraft. Okay, so anyway, we're going to move on.
Round. Repel the forces of evil from this battle action bunker with real sounds and missile launchers.
Yeah, battle action bunction.
Nothing.
So battle action bunkers, say that shit 3 times fast with lights, sounds, Obviously, you got to have spring-loaded missile launcher, and it came
Got
with a
to.
Battle Core comic.
Which is pretty cool because
Look
that's
at
something
Destro
they do.
getting it, boy.
Damn.
Get it, Destro.
Stands in the way of the Renegade 4x4.
So they called this the Renegade 4x4, but in the books, it's described as the XS1. But you're going to see what they describe as the XS1. This vehicle, I freaking wanted. I know we talked about this in part 2, I think.
Yeah, it was. I couldn't remember if it was 1 or 2, but we definitely talked about it because it's cool because all the guns are on the same mechanism. They all turn
Yeah.
together, right? Yeah, it's
all,
pretty neat.
All the guns are fire linked, and we're going to see that here in a second. And then this
Like
is
it's like a beefier Awe Striker.
kind of, yeah, that seats 2, and
Pretty cool.
this stays with the whole black OD green and that grayish Battle Core Rangers.
Yeah, it looks chrome here. It's not chrome.
No, it's not.
Not chrome.
The Joes are ready to run
Yeah, there you go.
off-road beast with rotating guns. Fire with the net launcher. Meanwhile, from the skies,
Awesome,
Yeah.
right?
Cobra can't hide from the hover jet with rotor launcher. And
We covered
So
that.
this is hey, we did, didn't we? Wow, look, everything's coming together. So
Full
Vortex XS3, but he just referred to it as hover jet. That's all he called it, was hover jet. But I wanted to share part of Dan's video because it shows scale and size. You can see them putting their hands on these vehicles.
working winch.
There's the
And
winch.
from out of nowhere comes Steeler in the
Does this look familiar?
Kind of looks like a Steel Panther, an Iron Panther.
Yeah, it kind of looks like an Iron Panther tank, right?
Kinda.
Yeah.
So
So
different color, I think.
in this line pitch, they call it the Phantom XS1 stealth tank, which is what I always knew it as. In the books, yes, it is a tank. It's a fucking tank. Look at what it's saying.
You guys.
You fellow fucks.
Just checking in. Have you drank water today? Did you eat? Did you take your meds?
How are its eyes even open? Mind-boggling.
I don't know. So anyway, but no, you're gonna look like Raiders of the Lost Ark, like you just looked inside of it. Yeah, please don't do this. That tank. Oh, yeah, this tank fucks. So again, not to beat the dead horse, but the vehicle that was supposed to be the Battle Core Rangers Phantom XS1 stealth tank. In these, it's described as the XS3, whatever, right? You know, pick your poison. The interesting thing about this tank, here it is in that flat OD green for Battle Core Rangers. I've discussed it before, but this gun is from G2 Megatron. And it was worked into the vehicle itself. Now, that vehicle became the Sergeant Savage Iron Panther tank. And
Somehow even cooler.
Somehow even cooler, yeah. And, you know, it's the same vehicle. There it is. But this is the G2 Megatron gun. And it's just a super awesome vehicle, man. Like the detailing in it, the play features, the playability, it's freaking awesome. Man of Action says, I have one of those good-looking Destro tank. Yeah, it could totally work as Iron Grenadiers. I have 2. I have one that's like Red Shadows, and then I have one that's just OG. But,
Yeah, I like it as the Red Shadows, but for G.I. Joe, the figures actually fit inside, where the Savage not so much.
This is right up my alley. Is that a non-concentric bore evacuator? Yup. And a West German wave skirt. Yeah, it's kind of a Leopard 2 skirt. Yeah, he's talking about this right here, right? So the skirt over the tracks. Yeah, pretty much. Or like the wavy 80 that you would see on a Russian T-80 tank.
Yeah. You can tell it's got some similar designs to like the F-117. Very angular, stealth.
Cool. I drive one of those to get groceries.
Dadgum.
Yeah, Gerard, the gun is G2 Megatron.
Yeah.
Not the hull or the turret, the gun.
You should get another one and paint it like Megatron.
You know, I have a core tank that I'm going to use for a G2 Megatron paint scheme.
Oh, nice.
That one that just came out not long ago with like the big sponson missile pods.
Okay.
You know
Okay.
what I'm talking
Cool.
about? That one? Yeah.
All right. Right on.
Yeah, I'm going to use that one.
That'll be rad.
Yeah, Sergeant Savage figures didn't fit so well in here. Here's the thing about this tank. No,
They
the
don't.
Sergeant Savage figures didn't, because the parts of the mold for the interior of the hull were removed, because instead of seating 2 3 3/4 inch Joes like it was supposed to, they just omitted the seats so you could put the larger Sergeant Savage figure, just tuck it in there. Yeah. But then again, Fun School did the same shit, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Okay, so we're going to move on. But anyway,
As an XS-1 stealth tank with lock and load firing action.
there it is.
Built for speed and range.
Boom.
Light, these
Yeah. So
Pretty rad.
this was the vehicle assortment for Battle Corps Rangers. The
It's a
XS.
pretty cool collection.
Yeah. Depending on how you want to look at it, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. That's them. Yeah. Freaking rad, man.
Any machines rule. Cobra fights back with the Vulture, a fast attack helicopter.
Vulture.
Vulture.
So this is that Cobra pest / Vulture, but they do describe it as the Vulture. But you can see it's a little larger than a Fang, right? It's not
it
very
looks
small.
cooler in hand than it does in the drawing, really.
It does. Yeah. And the colors are interesting for Cobra.
Yeah, a little different.
And missile launcher. And the Eel, a fast attack boat with.
Hey, that boat
That
looks
looks
familiar, doesn't
familiar.
it? Yeah. It's the exact same skip mine launcher from the Avalanche. The exact same one.
Hit mine. Watch out.
Watch out.
Super soldier.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna leave it at that, because next they get into a whole weird like super soldier thing, and we're not really talking about that right now. But anyway, so that's Dan's video. Thank you,
Pretty cool.
Dan, for letting
Thanks,
us
Dan.
show that video. And if you copyright strike me, I'm gonna fucking body slam you
In a friendly way.
in Minecraft with a hug. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Zakanan, can you tell me what the poll's at in the chat, please? Pretty please.
I'm surprised you're talking to him after that Gobits comment.
Look, he said, "Bring it." I can body slam you in Minecraft.
All right, guys, you're gonna want to make it to DFW.
That vehicle needs more guns. Oh yeah, they're so great. A Vulture in hand is worth 2 in the bush, right? RoboCop 2. Oh man, look now! This guy wants to. He wants to
Oh,
smoke.
he's calling you out. He's
No,
calling
I
you
love
out.
I love Dan to death. Somebody tell me what the poll's at, please, in the chat, because I do not want to have to pull it up. Oh, 81% say do it, Doug. Tonight.
Do it, Doug.
That's happening, kids. Bro, I am like having a fucking moment. Instead of hitting share screen, I keep hitting video file. Okay, so anyway, back to where we were.
Oh God, it's terrible.
Look at this. This guy wants, speaking of wanting some smoke, that's that bullshit right there. Best Joe vehicle ever was the septic tank. Actually, it's a Cobra Eco Warrior septic tank. Thank you. Slamming drinks, right? Yeah, no, absolutely. Yep. 100%.
Coffee.
Coffee. Yep. Yeah. I was like, I'm not a mod. What the fuck?
That's that bullshit. TTBS.
I needed a reason to use it. I'm sorry.
I love it.
No, I'm actually staying up on the chat tonight. Septic tank 100%. Hey, whatever. We all have our own opinions. That's cool.
That's right. That's right.
No. Yeah, that is a new one. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna move on. So we
Yeah.
looked at Dan's video. Remember these? Remember
Man,
these? Yeah.
what a good pick for side by sides, man.
So
So good.
the
So good.
big offerings for 95 Battle Corps Rangers were supposed to be a third version of the Killer Whale, which, you know, the second one being right, this one, the Night Striker. So we would have gotten the Battle Corps Ranger Seawolf, and then the transportable tactical battle platform would have been repurposed into the lighter Battle Corps colors, the same as the Seawolf, and just battle station, but would have come with figures. So, yeah, Suka says a freaking dream team. Yeah. Yep. Aquatic AF, baby. So
Hell yeah.
the Seawolf was going to come with Duke. Let me see if I can. What the hell? I don't know if I'm getting the palsy or what, but I'm like, so, yeah. So the Seawolf was going to come with Duke,
like a repainted desert one to look like new. That's a rad repaint.
Yeah,
it's a good
so
one.
It is a repaint. What was that? 91? 91? Duke?
Yeah.
I think 91, right? I'm an enthusiast. I'm not an expert. That's why we have the chat, because they help us out. So yeah, Man of Action says make that shit happen. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, if I had any kind of input, if I worked for Hasbro, I would say, hey, if you really wanted to do an awesome fucking HasLab, make both of those in one HasLab. Unproduced Battle Corps Rangers, Seawolf, and Battle Station with 3 figures. Get fucked. That would sell like mad.
Be cool.
Sell like mad, baby.
Yeah, Eric's right. 93.
Oh, is it 93? Cool.
That
Thanks.
Duke is.
Maximilian says, I saw a custom chrome Seawolf. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people do the Seawolf. What I find interesting, though, is everyone has their own versions of the colors. Because if you look here on this part of the hull, it looks a little darker, but up here, it's a lot lighter.
Very special weapons team action force that never got produced either.
Exactly. Yeah. I would, if they made these two together, a HasLab with these 3 figures as just the base offering, and said, like, 1995 throwback. I don't even care what your fucking stretch goals were. They could be cardboard backdrop and bones, and I would be all over this immediately. So, yeah. Who do we need to threaten? Well, you need toy people running a toy company. And
yeah, nobody there's even seen this shit
that even know about this stuff. So, yeah,
100%.
That's why you're not going to see that shit. Shannon Pittman kills the custom vehicles in so many different subgroup colors. I'll have to check that out. I don't know, Patrick. Send that to me in a messenger or something. What would be a reasonable cost for the 2 of these with 3 figures as a HasLab? What would be reasonable, or what would they most likely charge? They would most likely charge $500 for both of these.
You think 5?
I would think maybe 4, but I don't know. Whatever. We're not going to get into that because we still got a lot of ground to cover and we only have 40 minutes. But so the Seawolf and the Battle Station was going to come with Big Ben. Okay, interesting, because this is kind of like Arctic Sea warfare. So I thought Big Ben was an interesting choice, but cool. And then a Snow Serpent for the Cobra
V2.
And then fucking Ice Cream Soldier, baby.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, right there.
Hell yeah, on the spotlight.
Oh yeah, there he is. What is that, toll booth? Oh no, we don't want to do that.
Look what you've done.
Look what I did. I did the thing. Yeah, I can't push too far over or it'll change the page. But yeah, there it is. Cropped images of the file cards for Big Ben and Snow Serpent. All right, and then there's the proposed box art. Yep. And
good.
that the 4-color box art was finalized July 6th, 1994. Not long before everybody got canned.
Yeah, not long before. Yep.
No. And then, yeah, so what was intended to be part of the Battle Corps Rangers subgroup, the Seawolf, was an updated look to the G.I. Joe Killer Whale that Todd Wise designed for 85. With the same features as the original, the Joe team felt as though it was time to reintroduce this awesome vehicle. Yeah, It definitely was, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sucks that they canceled everything. Yeah, Arctic Big Ben did come out. That's true. Yep. Stupid Alan Hassenfeld, you fucking muppet. Hey, George has to go. Mr. Aiken, have a good night. And
Good night,
I am
George.
getting your package out to you. Hopefully you get it by Christmas. So yeah. Stretch goals could be other unproduced 95 figures.
That'd be rad. That would be rad.
You could do Battle Corps Ranger Baroness. You could not do that Ninja Commando Storm Shadow.
No, but do Mindbender.
Yeah.
Do Mindbender.
They could, yeah, you could do the other Battle Corps Rangers figures. Sure. I would like to see that Duke. Sure shot. I'd be all for that. And I don't need the fucking, the ring, belt, and the decoder backpack. I don't need that shit. Like,
But some patches would be good.
oh, patches would be great. Yeah, patches would be really cool. Look at this bullshit. There's a couple of repaints of Ice Cream Soldier. You got enough of that sculpt.
Some real good ones too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. The Duke is cool and Steeler. Yeah, but see, the thing is, if you get that Steeler V2, you got to get the fucking stealth tank. Maybe not. I don't know. Whatever.
There's probably more of a chance of them having the mold to the steel to the Panther than the Whale
Oh, yeah.
and all of its tiny parts.
6 foot,
Maybe
10-inch Yojo Daddy
Ooh.
said, I love these unmade shows. Best show you do. Thank you. We
There you
appreciate
go. Thanks, Daddy.
And then Hal Jordan says, we most definitely need Hooker Boots Baroness. Isn't V1 Hooker Boots? I mean, let's
yeah,
be real.
I feel like she started on that.
A Dragonfly in gray to go with these would be great.
A gray Dragonfly would be kind of cool. I'm kind of on board with that.
You know what? Let me argue that for a second, because if you're going to have the battle station, which has sling hooks, why not do a tomahawk?
Or what's the one that kind of folds? What's that one called?
Eh?
The one they had at DFW. The one he was showing how it worked. The helicopter that folds that also has a winch hook on the bottom.
The Retaliator?
Yeah, the Retaliator.
Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, obviously, Tomahawk is my favorite, so you're getting no argument out of me. I love that thing.
World building, toyetic playability, a dual rotor aircraft like a Tomahawk will actually sling load that battle station.
Yeah.
But, toys, right?
Yeah. True.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Modified Dragonfly into a Super Dragonfly. We went a great Tomahawk. Yeah, the chat is going crazy. I love it. Look, you guys are all what make this fun. It is not like a couple of guys talking about photos. It's all you guys for sure. Yeah, see, look at this. Suka's my dude. Arctic Tomahawk would be Tits McGee.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody get that over to one of the customizers.
Yeah. Okay. So I had to pull that down for a second. I'm doing something clandestine.
Shady bastard.
I'm being shady. Shady ass McShady. Okay. I will fill everyone in the chat in on this. Originally, when Mikey and I were discussing what was going to be the list for tonight's show, because there's a lot of unproduced shit. A lot. Every year had unproduced stuff. So you're talking, even if you left out 1995, which there was huge assortments for 95, you're talking 12 years worth of unproduced content.
Yeah. So
when we were making the list, one, I left off that possible version 2 Baroness from 1990, which I really wanted her in there, as did Mikey, because of the passing of Morgan Lofting. So I had to re-add that. Then we had the list done. And then I sent Mikey the list. Everything was all well and good. I had, all the photos all lined up like they should be. And then I was like, fuck, I forgot the big one. I know there's a joke in there, right? But I'm just going to walk right. I forgot the mother of all unproduced toys for G.I. Joe. Like the Seawolf, sure. All the Battle Corps Ranger stuff, yeah, absolutely. But there's one that never got made that really needed to get made. And I left it off. So I added it back on. That's why I put it in a poll in the chat. If you guys want it tonight, then we'll skip over a couple of others. And yes, Eric, it is the Cobra Island playset.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Yeah. So 1986. If you remember, so 85, 86, 87, we got obviously the USS Flag. Then we got the Cobra Terrordrome. Then we got the G.I. Joe Defiant, right? So Joe, Cobra, Joe, and they just kept getting more impressive. So after the Flag was very well received, it was, you know, you already had the Terrordrome and the Defiant, like they were already designed, they were already in the pipeline because everything is generally 2 years out. So in 86, they said, you know what? We need a real big one for 88, since we already have the Terrordrome coming out this year and the Defiant for next year being 87. Well, then we need another large Cobra item for 1988. That was going to be
The Python
this bitch.
Patrol. Oh,
The Python
Tactical
Patrol
tackle box.
Easy Bake Oven. Right there. Tackle box. Easy Bake tackle box oven. Yeah. So yeah. Kevzilla says, got a close down here at work. We'll have to watch the end on replay. Thank you, Kevzilla. And I still need to open your wrapped present that you sent me for my birthday. So thank you very much. You're the man, buddy.
Thanks, Kevzilla.
I'm just gonna let that Robert. I'm just gonna let that walk on by. But yeah, that's true. Oh, and now Dan's off of the toy files and he's back on Dan. He says, remind me later. I may have a memo on Cobra Island. Hey, Dan,
You think you have a memo?
do you have a memo on Cobra Island? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Inquiring minds.
That thing was gonna be big. Oh man, it was gonna be huge. Yeah, my Cobra Island was a bunch of pillows in the lounge room. Okay, well, anyway, let's actually get into this. Let's crack into this. So Guy Cassaday was the designer of this. I mean, you're talking about the guy, he designed the Rolling Thunder, the General, the Cobra Hammerhead, on and on and on, the fucking Defiant. Like, if you're talking about a guy who can design very large, very highly detailed, intricate, like toyetic fucking pieces.
Incredibly
Guy Cassaday.
toyetic.
Yeah.
He may be the most toyetic toy creator.
He was
I do
freaking
work
awesome.
in some features.
So, fun fact, these images are actually from 3djoes.com. So if you go to 3djoes.com, if you go to like pre-production, and then under there you go to like the creators profiles, these pictures are at the very bottom of Guy Cassaday's page. Yes, it was 3 floors, Eric. So this was a 3-story playset. Bye, Mikey.
I'll be
Mikey
back.
died. Mikey died. Yeah. That came out for Valor versus Venom. No, it did not. No. That's up here. That the Valor versus Venom Cobra Mountain playset was actually based on Star Wars Episode 2 Geonosis Arena. So anyway, but this is what the playset was going to look like. There are 5 sides to this. So we're going to try to paint a picture. 5 sides to it. You can see this is one side and the top, and it folds out, you know, kind of 1, 2, 3, and it lays out like this. This is a helicopter pad. And then there's 2, 3, 4, 5 sides, right? So there's 5 sides to the whole thing. All of it is like, you know, rocks and all that stuff. And then the notes say, this modern rendering of the Cobra Island playset by Guy Cassaday shows how the playset would look when folded up in island mode. So, right, you just fold this up, fold the side up, and then pop the top down. So that's one image of it here. It does have a top, middle, and a bottom. Yeah. See what you did there. And then this is kind of the description. It's a little bit of a read, right? But it paints the picture. The Cobra Island concept was created by Guy Cassaday in 1986. This concept shows Mr. Cassaday's vision of how Cobra Island would look in toy form. He did not read the comic books and was not familiar with the designs used therein. There you go. Guy created 30 sketches for costing and model building purposes. The 31st sketch, the first one shown, was drawn in 2007 to demonstrate what the playset would have looked like. All sketches are black and white and were created with black marker and fine pen. A color presentation rendering and a crude model were also created for this concept, which I have never seen. Oh, Dan says he found it. Fire it on over, dude. Or jump in here. I don't know, whatever you want to do. Yeah, Hal Jordan says, man, that thing would have been so awesome. You aren't kidding. And it gets better. The model was heavy. It did articulate / unfold as the sketches conveyed. Sadly, the presentation art and the model were lost. These sketches are all that remain. So this thing is 100% the gold standard of unproduced G.I. Joe toys. Cobra Island was styled to look like a barren rock mountaintop. It was a very large play environment that would have stood 24 inches high, and the diameter of the base in the closed position would have been roughly 24 inches as well. Hi, I'm reading the dimensions. You
I
good?
can hear you. I've been enjoying your story.
Okay, thank you. Check my messages. Facebook Messenger? Well, you didn't text it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so 24 by 24. You know, the Terrordrome is the base of the Terrordrome is 24 inches. If you want any kind of idea of what you're looking at there. The overall width of the playset in the unfolded position would have been around 6 friggin' feet. Gee. Right? Because it just unfolds like petals. There are 5 separate compartments or sides, each of which unfold to reveal the multi-level tower hidden inside. Again, right, the 3-story tower in the middle. The compartments or stations are labeled in the 4th sketch. 1 helipad, 2 anti-aircraft platform, 3 missile turret platform, 4 radar platform, and 5 big gun turret platform. Trademark. Hasbro.
Big gun.
1986. That being said, when we get to that image, they're actually misnumbered, but we'll get there. Within the playset was a centrally located multi-level tower with an elevator, telescoping missile pod, which is cool because it's like the peak of the mountain, and then it goes boop, and it just pops up. Jail cell. You gotta have a fucking jail cell, right? If you don't have a jail in a playset, you're wrong.
Mega feature.
Dan says just texted. Okay. Cool. I'll get to it. Oh, man. You want to fight. Thank you for reading the wiki, Dan Larson.
Thrust at him. Thrust at him. Yeah, take that.
Where's my free toys?
Yeah.
Where's
So you
my
like
free
them apples. All right.
Well, some people
cereal
are
break.
just listening. They're just listening. It's context. Anyway, I appreciate the joke. That was good. Yeah, jail cell, computer stations with chairs, a crane, and gun emplacements. There you go. Oh, look at this.
There he is.
Okay, let me finish reading this, Dan, and then we'll get to it. Playset would have been a signature item to help promote sales across the entire brand. Yeah, playsets like the Flag and the Defiant were considered loss leaders, which we already went over this. Cobra Island concept received positive feedback from everyone in the design department, but unfortunately, it was shelved by upper management. Yeah.
Dream
What's up,
Crushers.
Everybody, welcome Dan Klingensmith, author of Creating G.I. Joe. What's up, dude? How are you?
Pretty good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you great. Let me pull this down for a second. What's going on?
Just watching you guys.
Well, now
you
you're
find
part of the
anything
fucking
better to
show.
do.
Now I'm on. So
Now I gotta go into the description. I gotta change it, and then I gotta change the thumbnail, and I gotta do all this work.
Stinky
You
links.
interrupted me
nine.
doing laundry there, so that's why I switched to my phone. But
You were doing laundry?
I was hanging up stuff, trying to be a good husband.
Good man.
Well,
Good
I
man.
can't talk shit because I love being a house husband.
So there you go.
Patrick Stracco says Dan is the man. Yep.
Thanks, Patrick.
Mikey, you want to read this, please? Tired of talking.
The Connell. Oh, sorry. Sorry. There was a laser pants thing there. Got to meet Dan at
Do your best,
DFW.
Ryan. Oh, do your best, Ryan.
Vishay Connolly got to meet Dan at DFW. All of the Joe creators are absolute treasures to discuss our childhood greatness. Thanks, V. Connolly.
Yes.
True.
What do you got on this playset, Dan?
I don't have much. I wish I had more. I did send you a memo. Did you see the memo I sent you?
Where did you send it?
I sent it both Messenger and text, since you said that.
Let me
You
pull it
can
up.
show it. It'd be cool to show. I thought I had a memo on it. I couldn't remember. But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't make the book series. But I know I pointed out to Chad yesterday, there's some cool stuff on there. So hopefully you can get to see it. I think Declassified did a interview with a guy. They may have shown it on there. I don't know. I'll have to check and see. It's an old, it may have been just audio. I don't think they did video.
Yeah, and I was going to get to that toward the end, but
yeah,
sorry. Yeah, I have the link to it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah. So, I mean, from what I know, and I put in a chat earlier, I know when Daryl was digging through the archives at Hasbro, I was talking to Greg Bernstein, and Greg was telling me about the model itself of Cobra Island and where it was when they last saw it. And so I was like telling Daryl, I'm like, do you know where this is at? And he's like, yep. I'm like, all right. He said, it's behind here, behind a cage. Unfortunately, it wasn't there. Probably, I'm assuming, got pitched over years. But you never know. You really don't ever know, because there's stuff that he pulled out that nobody had even known was even there. So, I mean, they had models of the Night Force vehicles that we never showed that were hand painted and stuff like that. And just some, but we try to show as much as he brought out. We try to represent and show as much as we could, because again, we weren't sure if there's going to be another HasCon or not. So we try to take advantage of it. And I got a lot of slack back. Like, why are you showing everything? Why are you showing everything? Like, hey, I don't know. It's going to be one and done for all I know. I don't know. Yeah. So let's do it. And so I'm glad I did, because, I was able to, showcase a lot of stuff that nobody had ever seen. So,
right.
But yeah, it's a cool playset. It would have been a fun, big playset. But yeah, unfortunately, just never got there. So
yeah. Mr. Madgus is here. Good to see you, Madgus. And Jedi Ben says, Dan, looking forward to my books this week.
Awesome.
Yep.
Everything's been.
I'm actually going to finally complete my set, thanks to you and your awesome sale that you did.
Yep.
Yeah. Let me.
Chats are in the mail.
Yeah, checks are in the mail. All right. So this is the play set completely unfolded, and then I had to put the memo next just to the way that they're numbered.
Pentagons in the middle.
So if you notice in the notes, it says there are 5 separate compartments or sides, which we already kind of read. It says one is the helipad, which we know this is the helipad. It even says helipad extension. So they're actually misnumbered. This would be 1, 1 would be 2, so on and so forth. So the first part that unfolds is this helipad extension, because the actual helipad is the top of the mountain. And then the anti-aircraft platform would be 2. The missile turret platform would be 3. The radar platform would be 4. And then the big gun turret platform, trademark Hasbro 1986, thank you, would be number 5. So that's what it looks like unfolded. And then this weird 4-sided thing that you see right here in the center, that's the 3-tower like main structure. Anything you want to add to that, Dan?
I'm actually looking for some designs to see if I have anything to add. So
I know we have more images, but again, all this came from 3djoes.com. And if you guys take a look at the link that I put in there, that is an audio interview with the designer Sorry. That's a Joe Declassified podcast audio interview with Guy Cassidy talking about this playset and all the different features of it.
I have some pictures from Guy that he had sent me. Again, they're kind of a collection of images, but I don't know if I can add images in here or not. But
you know, I would not argue this statement from Impossible Pie. Super 7 should have made this shit instead of that mothership. I backed the mothership, so I would have backed this. Yeah. Yeah. If Super 7 had crowdfunded this, it would have been $1,500.
Maybe.
Yeah, the helipad could probably land a Mamba. Yeah, for sure. But again, right, that elongated tail of the Mamba, there's no gear on it. Really, a Mamba's like pad presence is only like that.
I just sent Mikey some
Watching
pictures.
and willing to take a risk. Yeah, but you know the thing with Haya Toys is they can't sell their Joes in American markets. Oh, that's you. Yeah.
Can you hear me still or no?
Yeah, I have a couple of those, but they're not. Are these the ones that Guy sent you that he wouldn't separate? That you were
Yeah.
So, Mikey, fun fact, when Dan and I were discussing this at length yesterday, he was like, I asked Guy for a bunch of the images, and he just like took a picture of a pile of shit on the table. And I was like,
no, I think
he's like that.
He's already sold it. So I think that's just
so
what
these
he
are just the
had.
pictures
That's
he
all
had.
he had. Yeah, unfortunately. So I think when he sold it, he just did that, which is common, when you're selling artwork like that. So unfortunately I didn't want to show it in that way in the book, personally.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
I kind of stayed away from it. But no, he's kind enough to send those over and
because these were the like the good drawings. Like that missile pod looks fantastic. The ones that I'm showing are like his real quick like marker drawings of it.
Yeah, these are like engineering drawings. Like these are sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean that's Guy was known for that, like with the kind of detail shots, like the Rolling Thunder that I show in the books and stuff. And that's some there's a whole packet of artwork, like all the close-ups.
Yeah, because that's that battleship style gun that they really like to use a lot, and that was that big gun turret platform, right? Number 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, he had on here
recessed Manning spots too. That's really cool.
And I like the way that it pops up. Like if you look at that bottom image, it's almost like how the maggot right on the legs, where you extend the maggot.
I was thinking 83 headquarters, how the base shifts up.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, he had I just saw a memo that he kind of described Cobra Island and I don't know, I think it's kind of what you had just read. But he said the drawings are documented Hasbro R&D dated 11/6/87 or 86, which is his birthday. 30 storyboards were created for costing and model purposes. Is this what you read already a minute ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the 31st,
yeah. So and then he had a rendering of the Cobra Island about being 24 inches high, which I think you had already as well.
Yeah.
So,
Thor Lom says the unproduced Joe item I want the most is the Pursuit of Cobra Mobile Command Center. There is that one too. We haven't really strayed out of 82 to 94. Well, technically 95, actually, like real American hero type stuff. But yeah, Forlom, absolutely. And then there's also the G.I. Joe Resolute USS flag that they were going to make.
Yeah,
that thing would have been the shit.
And a bunch of really good figures.
Yeah.
It never. A couple of them got made in a kind of a half-ass way, but
Tom, it was good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Be good to one another. Life is short. Yeah, absolutely. You ain't kidding. And then Eric
Tom,
Teixeira
you and your
says,
mustache have a good night.
this thing is almost 5 bases in one. Yeah, they were going to make a Resolute flag. Just like the one that you see in Resolute with the 2 launch bays off the front and that really like updated rounded conning tower. Absolutely. Rise of Cobra Howler.
I'm trying to find pictures of what you just discussed with the flag. So I'm looking for through images. So give me a moment. I'll see if I have anything, because they showed that at one of the Joe-Cons. I want to say
Yeah,
it's
let,
Rhode
let me
Island.
pop yours down while you're looking, and I'm going to go back to this. So anyway, yeah, this is what it would have looked like unfolded. So the base, 24 inches, unfolded. So you're talking from like here all the way to here, 6 feet. Like that thing's freaking huge. And then this is the memo that Dan just sent, and I'm going to blow this up a tad. Yeah, so this is all we need. This is an internal memo that you're not going to see anywhere else. Thanks to Dan Klingensmith Jr. Oh, is it?
I'll let you read it
Rumble's off to do the 3 POA. Yeah, we only got like 10 minutes left, but
We'll be there soon, buddy.
yeah. So Club Med for Cobra set, right? And then there you go. There's the 5 sides. Jail has a trap door, figure escape hatch, machine gun nest, radar, pollution dumping hatch.
Shoot.
The craggy piece of real estate is a viper's nest of evil. On the outside is a torpedo tube for protection from the sea. First floor command, second floor radar, elevator from the ground to the observation deck on the 3rd floor. Freaking awesome, man. And then, yeah, so this is kind of the way the sides would have locked in and been able to fold out. And then here you see the missile rack that pops up, right? So there it is in the down position, sitting in its shaft, Mikey. In its shaft. Nobody? Fuck. Nobody. Did I lose you, Michael?
He's reading. I'm sending him pictures.
It's it's weird. Every time a message comes through, the audio in my ear pod drops. It's very strange.
All right, whatever. And then this is the crane that would have been located on the 2nd floor. And then, Dan, that's something that you showed too, but you showed it with a lot more detail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, anyway, that's the Cobra Island playset designed in 86. It was supposed to come out in 88. And then the bean counters cut it. I don't know. Yeah, see, look, somebody got there. He said shaft. Thank you very much.
Just talking about shaft.
Shut your mouth. Yeah, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
Pursuit of Cobra mobile command. Yeah. It's a retooled pit. Yep. There it is. There's one version of it. Yeah.
It would have been an interesting playset.
That's so cool. I love the paper crata. That's so rad.
Yeah, that's shown at JoeCon in 2011. So,
man, that's cool.
They had some really awesome, lofty ideas. Could someone please tell me what year it was supposed to come out? Yeah. 1988. So whenever you see when something was designed, it's generally going to come out 2 years later in the assortment 2 years later. So it was designed in 86 because, again, like I said earlier, it would have been USS Flag 1985, Cobra Terror Drome 1986, G.I. Joe Defiant 1987, Cobra Island playset 1988. So that would have been like the 4 huge years. And then the next massive thing you saw was the General in 90, right?
Yeah. But yeah, that memo's coming from I have several memos like Toy Fair presentations and stuff like that. So so there's a lot of stuff. There's a couple other things I'm trying to think, but like sometimes I try to show those in the book as well, some of the memos that were pulled from there. There's one cool memo on this one vehicle, or I don't know what you would call it, but I'll have to find it. But it really was descriptive, and someone's described it a little bit before, but I think it was an outside inventor's idea. But it had like a scope kind of thing and like light emitted from it and stuff like that. So I'll have to see if I can find that. Maybe I'll find that for something in the future. So
kind of like
a bit more interactive, huh?
Kind of like the Ghost Striker?
Maybe a little bit. It's hard to describe. I'm trying to remember. It's been a long time since I've read it, but
are you talking more like Captain Power or Laser?
It was kind of like they were just trying to mess around with. I think they were trying to capture an older audience for kids, and so I think it, from what I recall, had some different features on it. In that sense, I don't think it was really like maybe a vehicle, but maybe like a playset of some sort. Like like I said, there's like a scope. I remember something with that. So I'll find it. I have it. I just got to find it.
Yeah.
So
Eric says 88 doesn't have a big play set, so it makes sense. Yeah, because it was supposed to be 88's big, like massive loss leader item. You buy a lot of dollies to fill that massive freaking play set and vehicles, so it makes sense. While we got you for 5 more minutes, Dan, what was some of your highlights of working on specifically all the unproduced stuff? Like I know you got a lot of great memories working on all 15 volumes, but when we talk about all the stuff in the back of each volume, especially since we're talking about unproduced Joe stuff, volume 14, 15, all the stuff at the end of each volume, what were some of the really notable things that you
as far as favorites or just
whatever
anecdotes or
whatever?
I mean, Stealth Fighter's one of my favorite figures. That was an early concept I saw back in 2011 that Mark Pennington had originally designed, and Bart Sears had done the presentation art, which I think is one of the best pieces of presentation art I've
Stealth
seen.
Fighter, the figure?
Yeah, the figure.
Yeah. Which you and I talked about Stealth Fighter last night. I was like, nah, Mikey and I covered him last episode.
Yeah, but he's just, I don't know, something about that artwork's beautiful. And so as far as some of the other things, I'm trying to think now, everything off the top of my head. As far as 14, 15, what was fun about that was, as far as putting those books together, is that normally I would just interview these guys individually. You know, I interview Ron and Mark and Dave and Kurt and Kirk and Vinny and stuff like that. But what I ended up doing, what's that?
Wash, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, I mean, so I interview these guys over time, since 2000, what was it, 2011-ish? It was right after JoeCon 10. So, but what I did differently for the last 2 books was I did group settings or group meetings, I guess you could say, where we just kind of went through all the different concepts. And because I thought it'd be kind of neat to see the interactions of some people, just to see, like, what do you recollect? And it's good that I did that, because there's a couple vehicles, like one of them, the one that worked on it was like, I don't remember this. She's like, I don't remember any of this.
Yeah, and then I mean, let's be honest, elephant in the room, Ron Rudat, as much as we all love Ron, right? Like, I know you know him better than I do, but I've experienced it on my channel as well, where Ron will be like, "No, I didn't do that." He'll be like, "Dude, you did it," and he'll be like, "No, I didn't even mean to open that page." We'll be like, "No, you designed that, Ron." And he's like, "No, I don't remember that." And I'm like,
"No, that's your
signature
right there."
Yeah. I mean, but it's been like 40 years.
Of them. Kirk would be like, no, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, Ron, a lot of the stuff I interviewed Ron back in probably 12, 11, 12, 2011, 12. So, I mean, it's been a minute too since I've done. So a lot of the interviews I would do with Ron later in the series were just stuff I had come across, you know what I mean? But the interviews with everybody was a lot of fun, because everybody had stories. People would be like, "Oh yeah, I remember working on that missile, and I remember that launcher." Then all the memory and recollections would come back, and then all the aha moments would come back. So it was a fun method to do it. I almost wish I would have done that throughout the book series, just to kind of get a lot of interaction rather than sit them down and, okay, Kirk, here's all these vehicles. Let's talk about all these, because it's hard to remember everything. And
Speaking of hard to remember, I can't remember where the freaking sub is.
Oh, the sub?
I thought it was in issue 15.
It should be in 15.
Is it in 15?
Yeah, it's in 15. 14.
Oh, yes,
unproduced.
They did have a Cobra submarine design.
Yeah.
They also tried to rejigger, that's a real word, the Cobra logo. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I know Guy tried to do the sub a couple times.
They did, yeah.
So,
but I know expressly you have like a 3-page spread of the Cobra.
Yeah, it's a beautiful design. I mean, Guy does beautiful work. So
there it is right there.
That is super solid.
Yeah, so the execs, right? A lot of times we beat up on the executives at Hasbro, but for good reason, because they couldn't see kids playing with a submarine not in the water. It's like, well, kids have imagination. But they're
Yeah.
like, nah, we don't want to make it. But yeah, there it is, right there, volume 14.
And I mean, that,
Cobra
that could have been fairly large too.
Yeah,
Of a vehicle. I mean,
for sure.
I mean, Guy did like some of my favorite vehicles were the Mobile Command Center, the Rolling Thunder, and he knows it. But I mean, those are some of my favorites, and I've been fortunate enough to pick up some original artwork for those because of that, that reason. But as far as like your original question, I mean, it's just the whole book process has been a lot of fun because my goal has always been to honor. There you go.
That's a sub.
My goal
shut
has
up.
always been. What's that?
No, Mikey laughing. It's still
No.
a sub. It still holds a figure.
But like I said, I mean, my whole goal was to really recognize as many people as I could, going from designers, engineers, marketers, you name it. And so that's really what the series is about. And, as some people may not know, besides all the cool artwork that Chad's been showing, each volume I really go into the first 4 books. I talk about the history of G.I. Joe, or Kirk Bazigian actually wrote that. And then from 5 on until 14, I really walk people through the development process, of how stuff was made. So I know a lot of people like to just flip through the books and look at the pictures, but I promise you there's some cool information in there.
Yeah, you got to read the foreword. Like that's where all the cool stuff is.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, but no, it's been a great project, and I'm honored to have been able to represent those guys and gals. And, but yeah, I mean, as far as unproduced stuff, who doesn't like to see unproduced stuff? I mean, that's the thing.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
or even some of the produced stuff, but seeing some of the early concepts like the Mamba, like different colors for the Mamba and stuff like that. So,
Oh,
yeah.
I love seeing the colorway stuff, just how they vision the character. Like, like you sold Dad the mountain climber, which was never a produced figure. We got most of the parts in some way, but like just seeing the different colorways, I think is so cool. And you talked about getting to talk to all of them at once, and we kind of got that on that live that you did when it was cool because you got to see them like interact, and even after all these years, you got to see the passion, and like they'd spark off of each other, and you're like, man, that must have been so cool back in the day when they're all sitting at a table bouncing ideas off of each other. I could imagine going through the book with them, how cool that would be.
Yeah, it was definitely. And then like, the Defiant, we literally did just in like I don't know if we want to call it episode because they're just interviews, but we literally just did one interview just on the Defiant. Like the Defiant scared me for a long time because I knew how many people were involved in it, and so I kind of held off for that for the final volume as far as 13, as far as production stuff. And it was a lot of fun. I mean, these guys going back and forth, and some of them hadn't either seen or didn't remember some of the artwork that I had come across and stuff, and they were like, "Wow!" I'm like I remember Dave Kunitz. That's one of his favorites, if not his favorite. And he saw Steve Reese's rendering of the Defiant, the final presentation art, and it was just like, that needs to be made into a poster. It's just like that's a beautiful rendering.
Can we pause X for a second?
No.
So, Father Son Galaxy left this really nice comment. It says, "This is why I love this channel. After 45 years, still learning about the IP I grew up on. Amazing job, fellas." I thought that was very
Really
nice.
cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Robert Diaz said, "I had the neon era of Joe, and I still loved it as a kid." Yeah, the 90s stuff is amazing. And like, don't discount the 90s. Everybody shits on it because of neon, which was really only Eco Warriors. And that being said, 1993 was the second biggest year in the history of the IP of G.I. Joe after 1986. Still hasn't been matched. So don't let people shit on the 90s.
And some of the best sculpts are in those. They're in the 90s. Like,
I will,
and you see that like when they did the collection stuff.
Oh yeah. Mother Slug.
Don't knock Manimals.
No. Dan will fight you. Mother Slug is asking, how many of the actual vehicles were Hasbro original? As I know, Action Force used the same vehicles. So who was using whose design? Okay. Action Force in 1983, when they pivoted away from Action Man, shrunk down to 3 3/4, 5 POA, which is these guys. Right. So this is a 5 POA Action Force figure. Now, granted, this is SAS. So this is like
squad leader.
Yeah. When they were doing original vehicles, like you can tell the difference between Oh, almost dropped that, boy. You can tell the difference between an action force vehicle. We're good. Okay. You can tell the difference between an action force vehicle and what is a GI Joe vehicle, right? Because this is a Red Shadows Hyena. It's a hiss, right? So they used both. They licensed everything from GI Joe, and then that's where you would see their version of Snake Eyes, which is called Stalker, and their version of Stalker, which is called Jammer. But they're the what, Dan? 27 points of articulation on the O-rings.
Trying to remember.
21.
I know.
Anyway, it would be the O-ring design figures, but then the original Pallet toy stuff was always 5 points of articulation. That's
so if it looks like a GI Joe, it came from Hasbro.
Yeah.
But fun fact, Action Force Pallet was doing 3 3/4 before A Real American Hero. There you go. 100%.
It's true.
Our good friend Van Morrissey sends a freaking $20 super check. So much, my man. Says, sorry I'm late. Had to decorate the Christmas tree with the family. Never be sorry. Family always comes first.
Amen.
We'll catch up on the replay. Cheers, boys. Thank you, Van Morrissey. Thank you so very much.
Thanks, Van.
I really hope you enjoy this. And then Comrade Bobcat says, oh, God, I'm late. It's all good, man. That's what replay's there for, my dude. So, yeah.
Amen.
But anyway, I had to play catch up myself. I got in late, so I was like fast forwarding, trying to see.
Yeah, and I know we got to roll because I don't want to walk on Ryan too much. But let me ask you something, Dan.
Yeah.
So in that line pitch, in that VHS recorded line pitch from your awesome channel, which I did share the link, by the way.
Thank you.
They refer to the Phantom stealth tank as the XS1. The book says 3, and I know that there's stuff in your volume that shows it was referred to as the XS3. Did they just change it after the pitch, or did they kind of go back and forth?
That's pulled from a memo. The XS3 is pulled from a memo.
Right.
So, and if you watch that video, they name some of the characters. So I trust the memos more than I do the guy reading, because if it was, I think it was the Manimals. He's introducing the Manimals wave 2, but he's naming wave 1 characters. So I mean, I'll tell you
other stuff like that. Total Battle Hawk.
Yeah,
they literally just took another figure and they're like, "Fuck it, stand him there."
Well, yeah, I mean, for a pitch, yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, when I got that that VHS, because I didn't know, because I had some Griffin Bacall tapes that I had to actually get converted by like a guy locally. Nobody, even the VHS place, like who has a business, they're like, we don't do that anymore. So I had to do I got the VHS converter real quick. But I mean, when I put that in and I saw what was on there, oh man, I was so excited, because stuff that we'd all heard about or seen maybe a little bit, but just to see it in detail and see it moving and all that fun stuff. I mean, it's so neat to see that stuff. So that's an awesome video that I uncovered, and I treasure that thing. I mean, that's why I wanted to make sure I digitized it and preserve it. So,
well, your channel was the first place I ever saw that. It's, I think, the only place I've ever seen it. So
probably, yeah.
Blast effects back on my Hyena, which, by the way, our good friend Suka freaking killed it with these blast effects.
Yeah, those are nice.
Somebody asked, they may not be here anymore, but somebody asked in the chat, has someone tried to 3D print? Oh, right there. Electric Blue Station. I wonder if anyone has tried to 3D print this stuff, the unproduced stuff. I think I already told the two of you, but I'll share with everybody else who's still here. So this is why it pays to stick around. I am working with someone, I'll leave him ambiguous for now, on the Marv. And so we're working on making the Marv. I was trying to find it in the book again, but
I saw you flipping it.
Yeah,
That's been
I had
15.
really
So
fast.
it's number 15 again. 14 is everything that got really close to production. 15 is like really didn't even get close whatsoever.
Well, it's also one of those things like when you flip a page, like you're really flipping like a shitload of pages. You know?
True. Yeah, and I mean, my dad modeled and printed something that resembles very closely the Inceptor.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, people have done it. Nothing's like been
I'm sorry.
produced, I don't think, but it's cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I
we're
remember him
working
doing
on
that.
making this right
I
there.
love that.
The 3 connexes, the fold down sides, the freaking battle platform gun, and the battle platform winch, the whole 9 yards. Yeah,
I
working
remember
on
seeing that.
one.
Super
I mean,
cool.
I actually had that. It got a lot of water damage, and so I actually had someone take it off carefully. A former Hasbro guy who was like, "Yeah, I can preserve that," and so he took it off and he put it on foam core, and he was about to throw out the top portion, you know, the letters. I'm like, no, don't throw that away. I'm like, just glue it on top. So he's able to flatten it out as best as possible. So it's kind of cool that I was able to do that.
Awesome.
So,
Yeah, JMK Packers, welcome, gentlemen. And Eric, this guy's living in fucking year 2030. He's like, yeah, I got 2 windows open. I'm good.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I do too. But anything else, Dan? Any more? Like
no,
stuff?
I mean, I know the other show's starting, so I don't want to take it away.
Yeah, whatever.
But no, I appreciate everybody, you know, checking out the book. I appreciate Chad's support and Mikey's support as far as showcasing and discussing these things, because that's what it's all about. I mean, other than honoring the team and the guys and gals who worked on the brand, I mean, I really put a lot of effort and passion into this series, and it's weird feeling to be done, you know, because I showed as much as I could. I mean, there really isn't much. There's some stuff maybe, you know, that I've come across that maybe wasn't shown in an earlier book or something that I'm trying to figure that out. I mean, Chad and I were talking.
Yeah, let me ask you this. I know what you weren't allowed to show, but are you allowed to say what you weren't allowed to show?
Possibly. I mean, everybody knows about Rocky and what else? The fridge, you know, just I get it. I mean, the legalities behind it all.
Yeah.
Who else?
But the Rocky stuff?
Yeah. Would have been really cool. So maybe someday, you know, it'll be seen.
You and I discussed this for about 40 minutes.
We were talking about that last night.
Go ahead.
So correct me if I'm wrong now, because I didn't remember everything we talked about.
I got
you. You know, I scatterbrained last night. It's all over the place packing up.
Yeah, and I was like, wait, no.
But
hold on.
So Rocky was, let's see, Big Boa was released to be Rocky. They're totally separate characters. They're going to be maybe released at the same time, but if I recall, Rocky was, I think, January of '86, if my recollection is correct. And then I think I'm trying to remember. Now you have me thinking. Now I'm gonna have to go look. So if we have time, I'll go look. Give me a second. You tell me.
Yeah, we're cool.
Okay.
I'm just sitting here playing with my.
Okay, you're just playing. Okay, so let's answer some questions on it. So Big Boas. So write these down, Chad. Date wise. Take notes, Chad. Just like I do, I have to work.
There you go.
So Big Boa's sculpture sheet was dated 1/28/86. The figure source sheet is dated 1/31/86. Accessories 1/28/86 as well. So that's for Big Boa. For Rocky, let's see. Rocky's sculpture sheet is dated 1/17/86. And then his figure source sheet that I have is dated 7/7/86.
Yep.
And so in my opinion is they're supposed to essentially come out in conjunction with one another and battle it out.
Right.
So
because what a lot of people haven't seen that you and I talked about last night is there was that promo thing trying to get the hype of the two of them face to face, like Rocky and Ivan Drago.
Yeah, I mean, it just would have been a cool. It would have been a cool. You know, can you imagine as a 2-pack? Yeah, I don't think they would have ever done that.
But they would have gone back in like 97, 98 when everything was like 2 and 3 packs. You know, for a fact, they would have been a 2-pack.
I mean, it would have been cool to see that. So, you know, to me, my thought is they were supposed to come out at the same time, and then unfortunately, just due to
they
talks
both had the same glove gimmick, right?
Yeah.
Rocky had the pugil stick with the brass knuckles. That I knew about the pugil stick. I didn't know about the brass knuckles. I also didn't know that he was supposed to come. Mikey, did you know that Rocky was supposed to come with a folding stock submachine gun?
I did not know that.
Bullpup.
So let me see. I'm looking at the different.
Wait, how's it a folding stock and a bullpup? How's that work? What kind of madness is that?
It's G.I.
There's some difference. The drawings of the gloves are pretty much the same. I mean, again, one's dated 117, which is Rocky, and then 126, 128, 86 is Big Boa. But it's literally the same renderings that Mark had done. But he did make some changes.
Those shit were hand in hand.
I mean, the gloves for Rocky were more traditional with the laces and all that stuff on the back side of the glove, and then Big Boa had like these separate layers and stuff like that. So, but it's a cool concept, and unfortunately didn't get made. And
here's another question about Rocky.
Yes, there is a 2-up.
Yep.
And I was told at one point there were some test shots as well. Someone I had talked to, they were like, I think I have a box of them in my attic. And so they never were able to find them, unfortunately, because I was like, did you find them? Did you find them?
Where's the test shots, bro?
Yeah. I mean, it would have been cool to see that. But I mean, I know that I've seen sculptures of like the 2-to-1 sculpture that's in a collector's hand. But yes, to answer the question, simply enough, there is a Rocky 2-up.
Yeah,
so.
and a lot of stuff that needs to be understood, like just all around in general, is that Stallone owned his likeness. To get Stallone on board, they had to produce stuff. And this was also at the same time where Coleco was like, Stallone's agent was working with Coleco. And it's interesting because of the dichotomy between Sylvester Stallone and holy God, did I really just do that? No, fucking Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh,
sorry, I had a moment. Because Sergeant Slaughter, he was dealing with Hasbro, but he didn't know that Vince Vaughn was dealing with Mattel, right? And so when Sarge got everything all dress with Hasbro, and he goes and talks to Vince Vaughn, he goes and talks to Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon's like, well, I just signed all of WWF with Mattel. So no, LJN. I'm sorry, LJN wrestlers. Yeah. He's like, I just signed all of WWF with LJN. So either you stay WWF and do LJN or you go. And that's why he went. And the Rocky thing was backwards because Hasbro was trying to court Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone's agent was talking with Coleco. And then when Hasbro does this huge pitch and they get all this shit done, 2-ups, design work.
Well, the comic, he got shown in the comic.
Sculpture sheets. Yeah, they even drew him up for the comic because he's in one of the Order of Battle books.
Yeah.
Yep. Then it's like, no, we just signed with Coleco to do Rambo and the Force of Freedom and all that shit, which I like that cartoon. I like that line.
Yeah.
But,
he
got more mileage with Coleco.
Yeah. It would have been cool though to see. I mean, because Rambo's Rambo, but it would have been cool to see Rocky. I mean, it would have been neat if he just played both parts. Because, I mean, nowadays, I think he could have done that. I think it would have been, we see Sarge used in 2 different, toy lines. So it would have been cool to see him do that. Agreed, and who knows? Maybe the Tulsa King will come out and we'll have a modern day Joe, right?
I like that show. That's a good show.
A good show.
Yeah, it is a good show. I'm like halfway through season 2 right now. Are there photos of the 2-ups?
Somewhere. I can't share though. Yeah. Unfortunately.
They get kind of touchy about pictures of the 2-ups.
So yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. So that's a little bit of inside baseball on G.I. Joe Rocky, physical trainer, Big Boa, Cobra physical trainer, and all the bullshit surrounding Stallone and Hasbro and Coleco, and one was too soon and one was too late.
Yeah, and the fridge had I'm trying to remember. Let me see real quick. The fridge, I want to say his artwork is a little bit different. You're going to do you have a picture of the fridge to show real quick? Because here I have two different images. Again, I can't share, unfortunately, but in one image he has like green pants, and in the other one he had like tan pants. So like an early presentation piece by Mark had the tan, and then it got changed to the green later on. So he came out with green pants, right, as a release character.
Yeah, I'm pulling him up on Carson's site right now.
So that was a minor change, but it would have been neat because I'll read this out of it. This is out of an internal. I'll just read it. Dated January 1987. This excerpt comes from Volume 1, Issue 1 of the Corporate Promotions newsletter within Hasbro. It says, let's see.
Yeah, here's the unproduced carded one, if that's what you're talking about.
Just to figure it out. Okay, so it's coming out with green pants. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're just talking about the success of the Slaughter promotion. They said the fridge is now joining the G.I. Joe team. William the Refrigerator Perry, 325-pound defensive lineman of the Chicago Bears, the latest real-life member of the G.I. Joe team, and he's out to put the enemy into a deep freeze. And it talks about, the promotional plan and how much it was going to be. So this is all like a promotional a newsletter that was internal. So it's really neat. And somebody had actually a lot of times when they were basing stuff on real people, well, especially an actual real person, they would have still shots, front, back, side, all that. And so I have some really cool photos of him as well, which would have been neat. So
that's cool.
I'm going to leave this up on screen while I start a couple of things for you. Jeff Butler's asking, Dan, do you have any knowledge of who thought up Fridge's football mace?
Mark Pennington came up with that. So,
boom. Dan knows so much.
I'm trying to remember. He shared something. Let me see. Oh, he said, let's see. It was tasked with designing the character Fridge likeness and originally had a weapon that was deemed too dangerous. This was later changed to a steel football attached to the chain. So his original design apparently had a different weapon of sort. So,
yeah. And then a question from Mother Slug. Any connection there with Road Pig being Brian Bosworth?
I never heard of that. Road Pig's likeness is actually based on Don DeLuca, which is a senior designer at Hasbro. I think he had a higher title. I'm trying to remember. He was kind of like Greg Bernstein at one point, like as far as kind of the lead of the designers for a short period. But yeah, it's based on Don DeLuca, and so was the Ninja Commandos Road Pig. That's the picture Carson shared out earlier this week.
Cesspool's Vinny, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. Kirk Run did that. He put a big scar on him on purpose.
Yeah. Fucked up eye.
Yeah. So there's those guys love giving each other crap about that, and yeah, those two have a great dynamic amongst them.
Yeah. A lot of them, I don't want to say most of them, but a lot of them made it into plastic form.
Yeah, a lot of them did. I mean, Bob Swanson, who's my recent interview for the Toy Files, I'm just working on some new intro music and video, so that's why there's a little bit of a delay, but I'm working on getting more interviews set up, which it's just a matter of, I'm the type of person where I want to get it, I want to have the intro, I want to have everything ready and then go full force, because all it takes is just calling some of these guys and just like, hey, you want to do an interview? Okay, let's do it. So it's just a matter of I need to feel comfortable with it, and then we'll get going. But Bob was based or Major Storm was based on Bob Swanson. So and at the package art, if you look at the package art and if you look in the book, you'll see a up close picture of the package art of Bob or of Major Storm. Yeah.
And like Shooter, before the whole Jody Craig thing, who's a real life person, Shooter was supposed to be Jim Shooter.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah,
that just it never made it past the whole Easter egg thing.
Kirk and Ron and
Patrick Stralko says Sky Pig does look like the boss, though. Yeah, my Sky Pig does.
Yeah.
For sure. Commander Curbstomp says, to me, Rocky is but Rambo as a Joe would have been tits. Force of Freedom characters and Savage could be additional sub-teams factions.
Yeah. I'd say for most of us, they probably were.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and look, again, I'm not trying to shit on Marauders, but I'm going to shit on Marauders. I wanted that friggin' Rambo figure. That was part of that Nom Kickstarter. Like, I was finally going to get a no shit produced Rambo figure.
And
But no,
instead
I
you
did have that one.
you get Big Lob instead.
But is Jim Shooter a black chick? No, that's why he was covered in issue number 1. But that was Jim Shooter. Absolutely was. Lilith, were there any unproduced Dreadnoks? Yep.
Yeah.
Most of
They're in Dan's books.
Yeah.
Order them books. I don't know if you shipped a.
Got any tips?
It's gonna be
Got any
expensive.
tips? Order them books. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a really cool one of a patch, which is a Native American character, and he's featured in volume 1, I believe. Yep, someone just said it, patch. And so I actually at the time I didn't have the license, so unfortunately
Look, he even put it in the chat.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. So it doesn't have the GI Joe logo on it, but I did do like a proof sheet, and I named them Ribbits, and then Kirk and I Bazzigan and I wrote up the file card. He kind of helped me make some adjustments on it, but it was a lot of fun to kind of create that character. And I had Tim Shin do the artwork for the front of that because I loved what he was doing at the time with a lot of his Joe stuff and the cartoon stuff. You know, but it's a fun character, and I planned on doing like a whole series of unproduced characters back then. It's just it didn't sell that well. I know the sheet is kind of hard because it's big and bulky, and it's maybe not presentable enough. But I did produce the Night Force, unproduced Night Force characters, so I do have those on sale right now. I have very few of the low light ones because whoever supported the Kickstarter got that for free for that edition. But I did end up doing the second one, which I think is there you go. So are the other two on the backside? Is it Rumbler and Backstop, right?
Yeah, Rumbler and Backstop.
So doing those, I have a lot of those available. So jump in and get those right now. If you're interested, I'm selling just that one alone for $15,
rad those
including
are.
shipping. But yeah, Adam Riches did the artwork for Rumbler and
Nailed it.
Backstop, and beautiful designs. He did all the, I guess I should say, he did the artwork for low light and stuff too. But again, it was existing art. But the other two, he literally created from scratch and painted it traditionally. Yeah. So he did a great job.
Don't forget that Zartan card back, because that thing
and the Zartan
max, because
he
was never.
I'll announce here.
Takara. Yeah,
I have a couple Zartans I'll be probably putting up here in the next couple weeks. I don't have many of those left, but for those of you who don't know, Zartan was originally going to be an open stock character. I know I've seen customs of Zartan. Right. But this is different because this is literally taken from a Xerox copy of what the mock-up was. Mm-hmm. So it's legit in that sense. And again, that was done, so those products are technically Hasbro licensed because of when I was producing those two things. And then I do have one more thing. I'll probably make an announcement in a day or two. I just got sample tubes in, but there's something that was offered, only printed during the first Kickstarter. Only offered then. I haven't offered it. I haven't put it up for sale since. I have some extra stock that, with my agreement right now, I'm entering my sell-off period. So that's why if you haven't picked up the books and you want to get them, I didn't recommend getting them now off the website. And like I said, kind of look for these different things. I'll probably put these up a little bit different as far as what I'm going to be putting up, just like the prints, because the challenge is, I was telling Chad, a lot of times when people purchase my website, or I use Wix, something about it's just kind of goofy. Yeah. The tubes are separate from the book boxes. So it's hard to the shipping, sometimes it kind of screws it up because it was like, oh, I want a book and I want to buy a print. And then it combines the two, but I'm using two different shipping methods. So it ends up, costing more to do that. So just kind of keep an eye out. on my Facebook page. I'll probably start there. I'm actually gonna, I think, announce it on people who supported the Kickstarters. Give them a chance first, just because of the support over the years, and then from there, I'll see. I don't know, Chad. Are you on there? No.
I already know what it is. So.
Well, I know. And then, do you want to tell Mike? I'll tell Mikey. So, Mikey, I did send Chad because you said something earlier. I was fast forwarding. I heard about. I wish there's a content. So
yeah, I pretty much said it without saying it.
Yeah. So I put an Excel sheet together of all the years, the figures, and then what volume that they're in, just to help people, like if you want a quick reference.
Except for the G.I. Joe Locust.
Yeah, the G.I. Joe Locust unfortunately did not make it for some reason. I was telling Chad, and I sent that Excel sheet to you and Pat Stewart as well, because I want a second pair of eyes or third pair of eyes on this thing to see, did I miss anything? Did I miss, whatever? Now I can always fix it as well, but I'm going to send that out to everybody, because I know a lot of times I'll get messages like, hey, what volume was such and such in? And then I'm trying to think like, okay, what volume is this? So trying to make it easy. Excel, you can filter it however you want. And, but yeah, the Locust didn't make it, unfortunately. I don't know how I missed that. The page is built. I showed it to Chad.
Shit happens, whatever.
So,
it's 15 volumes of stuff. Like,
yeah.
How many thousands of pages?
But if you have the Locust, you can show a quick glimpse of it real quick, Chad.
I got it somewhere.
Didn't I?
Yeah, I want to say hi to Frank real quick. What's up, Frank? And Mikey, this is a question for you.
If that top hat was a turret, would I wear it? You bet I would. Not be eating a big old hot dog. Cool Budweiser to top it off.
Jesus.
I'm gonna find that real.
Yeah, it's in your Facebook messages.
Yeah. So
unfortunately, I just missed it. I don't know how. I had the page built, but
I gotta address this. This has been up for a minute. Demgut says, I thought the Nom stuff was still in the works, just not Kickstarter. Well, yes, but here's the thing. They had 3 years and they didn't make shit. So if they had to return everybody's Kickstarter money, how long do you think it's going to take them to make 32 SKUs worth of figures? I'm not saying it won't get made. They said it'll still get made. They also said that everyone would get a refund, and I haven't received a fucking refund yet. So wait and see. I don't distrust Marauder Gunrunner. I like John on a personal level. I really do. He's a genuine dude. However, they abandoned it. It's all back burner. And like Mikey and I talked about on a members only stream, they were still putting out other stuff while everyone who had already paid for that other shit was waiting. So I don't know. Here's a question.
I mean, I think, what do we have?
5?
I think 5. I know there's one that they discredited, right? Not long ago.
I thought it was 5.
But I do have a different one that it's in a bag from a former Hasbro employee that is different than the others as far as the kit bashing of the parts. So it's the bag has been opened with tape, but that's how they used to do it back then. So I don't think it's, and it's coming directly from a Hasbro guy. They didn't sit there and make this just to make another version of it, let's just say.
I'm gonna try to show this as it is.
What, the
Locust?
Locust?
A little dicey because you can kind of see a corner of they're not gonna know what it is, so I'm just gonna.
Don't show anything you shouldn't show.
I'm not gonna show the other thing, the one that came after the Locust, but you and I know what it is. You can kind of see the corner of it, so we'll just leave it alone, right?
I could probably find the Locust and send it to Mikey.
I got it. I'm pulling it up right now. Mother Slug. Kind of a hard question to ask. What's the rarest 80s Joe that you know of? Like 80s Joe, anything? I'm thinking the Tycho train set.
Yeah, is it produced or not produced? That's kind of the kicker.
I'm thinking produced because he mentions specifically the Tycho train set, which I'm staring at right on the wall. I've only seen it one time ever. I mean, I've got it.
Yeah.
But I don't really know if that's any kind of metric, right? If rarity.
Yeah, that's not produced though. I mean, that was made, but it wasn't like in production.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, I
like,
look at
That's what I'm.
rarest existing, I believe, is what Mother Slug is asking.
Yeah.
just rarest
What's the
Joe,
rarest
period.
existing?
I mean,
I would argue that the RC Crossfire is more rare complete than that train set.
I mean, if we're talking production, I mean, I'm trying to think. I don't have off the top of my head production numbers of certain things, but
Bloop.
there's the Locust.
Mhm.
As far as pre-production, I mean, I think like the alternate heads are rare. I mean, there's only a couple that I've seen. The Deep Six, of course, and stuff like that, but that's people know. So the Locust, you can kind of see. I don't know if you can blow that up. If you want to read it, Chad, with your wonderful voice, feel free to do so. It's a big paragraph. Can you? It's not too much to read, right?
Locust was released in 1990. It was designed by Dave Kunitz, who is also Thrasher from the Thunder Machine. After some debate on whether another vehicle should be released, Dave was tasked with making tasked, as you were, I'm sorry. Dave was tasked with
I
making...
haven't edited this, so there's misspellings. Just
No, that was me. Dave was tasked with making an inexpensive vehicle that would be small enough to fit in a small box at a low price point. We also know that the same year the Locust was released with the General. After working on several drawings, he eventually came up with a concept that he was happy with and immediately started working on the final presentation rendering. With the paint still wet on the final piece, Dave ran into the line review to present the Locust. Not following the normal protocol of having a G.I. Joe or Cobra sticker on it, and not having a name on the bottom, Dave was stopped mid-sentence by Steve Schwartz, Senior Vice President of Hasbro Marketing at the time, and asked what the vehicle was called. Since Dave didn't have time to come up with a name prior, he started to describe the vehicle as a low-cost helicopter. See where this is going? Yeah. But mid-sentence got the idea of Locust and started to describe them coming over a hill in a swarm attacking Cobra. Everyone loved the name and it stuck, which is an awesome freaking story.
Yeah,
It's
I love the
just
story.
like Lockheed Skunk Works and the U-2 spy plane. Yeah. If you know, you know.
Oh, a swarm of locusts. So Bobby stole it. Just kidding.
No, what a great story. That's why I'm saying it's
low
sucks it
cost.
didn't make it.
Oh, Locust. Yeah, Droop. Yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I didn't make it. That was an oversight on my behalf. But maybe somehow I'll figure out a way to get out there. I don't know.
So Dan, are you still doing like prints of
So-
single pages and stuff?
I'm selling some prints. I haven't done any. I considered it, but I need to do it fast if I'm going to do it. So I know. I didn't forget about you. I can't remember who it was, but yeah, there's been somebody who's been asking me.
Somebody already bought the Hiss, and I was like, let's have a conversation.
Yeah, I may open it up.
His tank?
Who bought my print?
I may open it up. I've been debating over the last couple of days, just because. I mean, if I can sell what I have and it's worth doing, because again, it's all about quantity. You know, if I do 5,
Sure.
they're going to cost me up. You know, I tried to look into it, and it's going to cost me an arm and leg just to do 5 prints. But if there's enough of a certain thing or a certain character, or, you know, because usually they don't care. Like if I do 5 of this character, 4 of this character, the printer, I'm saying, you know, usually doesn't matter because
Just how many prints.
They get that
how
money
many total. What's
Oh,
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will let you know. And like I said, I'm going to see how things are going with the prints right now. I've sold a decent amount over the last day and a half that's been up there. But like I said, I got other things I'm going to be releasing here in the next couple weeks. If you order your books, like I think I have it the 15th right now, you'll get it by Christmas. I don't foresee any issues with that with the books. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to check out these tubes tonight. Uline sent them over, and I need to roll up something and see if it fits in it nice and cozy, and then go from there. So be on the lookout.
You have a comment here, Dan.
Oh, single page. we'll have to see. I don't know. I don't know how that could be.
That would be 11 by 17, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I would love to, but I gotta be careful with certain things. Let's just say that.
Sure.
So
Sure.
Yeah, Mother Slug says, I always love the Hiss 2 and the double wide 2-seater. Originally, the Hiss 1 was supposed to have the exact same thing, 2-seater with the drop down jaw.
yeah, that was
And it was
awesome.
6-wheeled. It was not tracked. So
Yeah, the original Hiss rendering's so cool. And I ended up getting the
with that weird little mine shooter that you saw later on
Mhm.
the Rage. Boop, 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 boop. Yep.
Yeah, because I ended up getting the HasLab for the Hiss, and I ended up opening up one, and I sent it to Wayne Luther and the character, just kind of as a thank you for everything, because
Why are you
doing
telling
with
him
your
gang
hand?
signs?
I'm
Yeah,
trying
what
to
are you
do 2 for life. I'm
Yeah.
doing it backwards. on screen.
Cut it out.
Yeah, the Hiss is awesome. Hiss 2, I didn't really have much on, but I did see some stuff later on. I had some model pictures and stuff, so I just didn't have anything like preliminary. I saw a couple of sketches later on, once I'd already featured, but
That would be a good video.
yeah,
That would be a good
yeah,
video.
that
Like,
could, some of this
if
stuff
I
could
did a
be.
video on my top 5 Hiss designs, because
Yeah,
I'm
Hiss
going
2's
DTC first, then I'm going Hiss 2,
mm,
then I'm going Hiss, then I'm
Don't
probably going to go
spoil it.
Retaliation Hiss.
Don't spoil it.
I don't give a shit.
yeah, your whole Hiss episode's gone
There's
now.
74 people watching the video. Will get like 6,000 views.
Look, 74 people. They're gonna tell 5
They're gonna
people
don't
each.
tell your friends.
All right. Now we've covered it.
Yeah, you too.
Hey, before we get out of here, Dan, what's going on Sunday? Because I told Mikey to remind me, but I didn't need the reminder.
Oh, nice.
What's happening Sunday?
We're just gonna chat. So Chad and I are talking. It's always fun to just shoot the shit with everybody and talk and answer questions. And
Yep.
so I was like, "What do you want anybody besides boring me to be on?" And Chad's like, "Hell yeah, I don't want just
First
you."
of all,
I
I love you to
so,
death.
That's
Even though
exactly
you're
how we
boring
worded
as
it.
fuck.
yeah, right. But no, we had talked, and I said, who would you love, like to have, and he's like, I'm open to anybody. And so one person that I love to death is
That I have
been
never
one of
had
my
on this
biggest
channel.
supporters.
Yep.
Just such a nice guy, and he's been one of my biggest supporters from the get-go. Like, he really has been, and pushing things, and he's so appreciative. And when I went to Dallas for JoeCon, we met up, and he took me around. I mean, I met his parents and everything, and we actually went to church together and stuff. And he's just such a good guy. But Frank Coronius, I didn't need to figure out time. I pinged him, I messaged him. He said, yeah, he's open to it. We just got to nail down a time. Right now, we got lucky with my wife's at a band thing with my daughter, so it's quiet. My son's over there, but so it can be a little chaotic sometimes in a household, so I have to be strategic for my time.
Remember, we would be streaming and like your door, ding dong, back door, and we kept making all those backdoor jokes.
Yes, it's still right here. But yeah, my Joe room's hard to get. Like, I don't have a computer set up in there, so it's my phone a lot of times. And I don't know why my recent videos were all echoey. I have no idea. I mean, I have a newer iPhone, and I don't know why it's doing that. But sorry, I'm reading some of the things in here. Dan, if you don't have a plan yet.
Oh yeah, I started.
Oh, you do that. So the show's going to be great. The Dallas show is going to be great this year. JoeCon or Joe Fest. I mean, I don't know, because not because they're close, somewhat because they're close. Because I'm trying to think work wise how I would do that, and whether I can. I don't need that whole week off afterwards for no reason. So
Matthew, you have me.
But DFW is going to be awesome. We're working on. We haven't started working on details yet, but I do have a group text with all the guys on there as far as who's coming, and I want to start thinking probably in the next couple of weeks, start planning what do the panels look like. And I have some ideas already because of the guests we have. I think we're going to do at least a couple panels. Greg, hope you're okay with me sharing this, because it's nothing set in stone, but DFW,
Greg was
DFW,
on one of my
DFW.
member streams, and he
Yeah. I'll just keep saying DFW, and Greg will be happy. He won't care.
He shared.
But so I'm thinking like kind of break it up, like 82 to 85 ish, 86 to 1990 ish, and then 91 to 95. And the reason being is I'm going to have Kirk, I'm going to have Greg, I'm going to have Mark, I'm going to have Ron, I'm going to have Guy, going to have let's see, Kurt Groan, Benny, and then potentially some other people. So
yeah.
There's potentially some others that that I think may be there too. So I think it'll be great. So I'm thinking something in that. I don't know what we're going to talk about necessarily. Something similar to what Patrick had mentioned.
We're going to have a panel called "That's That Bullshit."
Okay, you can lead that one. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I mean, getting these guys together is so much fun. Last year, you know, the panels we featured were some that I wanted to do for HasCon, like the 12-inch one, you know, for the Hall of Fame series. And those guys, you know, love it. They love the Hall of Fame series. So there's some good information shared out that nobody probably has ever heard, had ever heard. You know, if you're not a fan of 12-inch or of the Hall of Fame, so be it. I mean, that really got me. Because I know people define collecting.
I will take Hall of Fame over classified any day, every day.
Classified's, But
what about the classic collection? You know, because Larry will be there. That would be cool too.
They talked about that. I missed that panel unfortunately, but they did. Herman and Kurt Grun did that on some of the classic collection. You know, as well. So I know they covered some stuff last year, but yeah, any ideas? Anybody, you know, who's going and has some ideas? I'm open. I mean, I'm open to hearing some different thoughts. I mean, I have some, like I said, pre-planned ideas, like when we would break it up by years, what to talk about. But I'm pretty open to, you know, what do the fans want? You know,
I'm just saying that 91 to, you know, Mick question mark. 95. Like I would like to see 95 like really talked about with a live audience.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
From especially with all of them, because you never know the input they could spark off of each other, and there's so much to talk about anyway.
And from my perspective, like I don't want to say as a YouTuber, but as a guy who like fucking rambles on YouTube, like especially with like Mikey, you know, and whoever else, whenever we talk about 1995, specifically Battle Corps Rangers over anything else, replicators, you know.
Did you show Battle Corps Rangers Baroness, by the way?
I just showed her from the video.
In that video,
I stopped it because there's a real good shot of her in the video, and I just said, there's Baroness
because she's in an earlier volume. She's not in volume 14, but she's in.
She's in an earlier one. But yeah, I just kind of touched on a possible version 2 at the beginning while we were talking about Morgan Lofting. But people are always drawn to, you know, the what if, the what could have been, you know, the year that could have kept a real American hero in-house, averted. Well, but you gotta consider the whole Ginger Kent thing. Like it wasn't so much.
I was gonna say it wasn't an unsuccessful line.
Was people, yeah. But everybody's really drawn to the concept, the idea of Battle Corps Rangers, and anytime it comes up in conversation, you just like you see the focused attention come. What? Oh, we're talking about fucking Seawolf.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when I first saw that Seawolf design, I couldn't figure out who the hell is climbing up the ladder. You know, it's just such a weird, you know, angle. But I mean, when I saw that artwork that you shared earlier, I mean, I've seen the orange, the purple, you know, him jumping out. I've seen that for years, you know, but some of those designs, the Ninja Commandos, I heard your Storm Shadow talk, but some of those designs of the Ninja Commandos, the Battle Corps Rangers, I literally got those just like I was already done with those pages. Those pages were done. They're all going to be one pagers. But then when I was able to get all the conceptual renderings,
the sculpture sheets and stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, now I got to blow this up and make it two-page spreads. So, the Battle Corps Rangers is so fun, and where they were heading with Joe, and I have some later memos. I mean, there's so many memos I have there's some stuff that goes into like 1996, 90. I don't think 97, but 1996.
Yeah.
So there's some stuff I need to go through. So maybe I'll pull some of that stuff out as well to even go beyond what maybe we've ever seen or
Even
heard.
further beyond.
Yes.
That was no good.
But
yeah,
it would have been fun. It would have been fun, and it's always fun to talk about what if,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Especially some
Well,
of the
I don't know if
concepts.
you were in the chat earlier, but like when we showed the Seawolf and the battle platform and
Mhm.
just kind of threw it out. We had like 200 people and it just kind of threw it out like if this was a fucking HasLab 118 scale, the two of them together, so many people in the chat were like, I would buy it, I would buy it, I would buy it, I would buy that immediately. Like there's just something about Battle Corps Rangers that it captivates people.
There's some people at Hasbro I still converse with, so maybe I'll have to be a little birdie. And
You can go look, Matthew. You can go search for trademarks.
Yeah, they're public records.
the cool thing about Battle Corps Rangers, the logo, the guy who designed the original logo, because there wasn't really a clean logo of that anywhere online. Right?
My God.
So I had the guy who designed it originally.
I think
He did it. So
to add to what you just said, if you remember, Dan, when I made that custom Battle Corps Rangers Cobra Eel, I could not find that logo anywhere. It's impossible to find it. Like you can see like renders of it or whatever, but that logo clean, I couldn't find it. And I remember I texted you and I was like, where can I find a no shit Battle Corps Rangers logo? And you were like,
I gotcha.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the
how
time
I even got it on that damn thumbnail was because of you.
Yeah, Wayne Blatchy was doing stuff digitally. That's right when they just started doing digital.
Yep.
Star Brigade, Battle Corps
Armored
Rangers, the
Jack.
Replicators logo, which nobody had ever seen until I put it in the books. What other one? Sergeant Savage, he did. So a lot of those logos were done digitally, and so I was very fortunate to have I have like a sheet of all. It's like a vintage sheet of all of the logos that he had done digitally at that time. So, but I need to run here in a minute, though, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna cut out of here.
I know we're way past.
All right,
here.
so Sunday, you, me, hopefully I'm there, and Frank, we're gonna talk about all cool stuff, and we'll have a good time.
Who knows? Maybe I'll just see what others are doing too. We never know.
And then Mikey, we're on for Three Stooges next week.
that is correct.
You got anything else coming up before then?
Tomorrow night we've got episode 3 of Figure It Out with me, Jeff, and Zakanin on
That's right.
Jeff's channel.
And it rotates channels, right?
Yeah.
Which is cool. I think that's really cool that you do that.
See how it works.
Cool. All right. Well, for everyone who's still here hanging out with us, I know we went like an hour over, even though we cut some stuff out and we were good. But
We did.
Dan, I always love talking shop with you and all your Joe knowledge. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Appreciate having me on,
I'll
man.
be honest, in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have thrown up any comments during that whole Rocky Big Boa thing. I could have cut a video out of that. Damn it. So anyway,
Missed
I
it.
love you guys.
Ruined it all.
And Dan,
Yeah.
you're going to sign us out.
How do you always throw this on me, and I never know what you want me to do here.
I'm going to give it to Mike.
Yeah, we'll go with
Mikey.
Mikey.
Sign us out.
All right. Hey, chat. Thanks for watching tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you check out Dan Klingensmith's website, buy his books. I know I will. I'm going to top them off with a nice, cool Budweiser. Until next time, you have a good one, okay?
And go to 3POA. Oh, right.
Chad, how insensitive of you.